We are live.
Oh,
Okay.
hi.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Final Call The Last Sunday Squad, a monthly gathering where a group of authors assemble to dive into an imaginary world, assume the roles of their characters, face grand evils, and hopefully have a grand old time doing so. I am your Fable Master Jack Fields. With me is the marvelous Brian Nordon, the inimitable Katie Hanna, and the magnificent Rachel Ní Chuirc. My friends, we are going to get right into things. What? So, here we go. To set the scene, we fade in on an older man's voice coming to the three of you. Once upon a time, there was a stone and a jewel, and the stone was a country, and the jewel was the city set into it. The country was called many things by people of all shapes and sizes, and even species, if you knew what stream or thicket or secret nook to look in. But the city was named for an old king whose works were mighty. Only he had a very long name, and so everyone simply called it Oz. A wicked witch ruled over the city, and if it was a jewel in those days, it would have been a chrysoberyl, ghoulishly yellow and lumpy like a bubo in need of lancing. It was, on the whole, a terrible place to live. Happiness and good cheer would have found nowhere to hang their hats. They were strangers there. So a group of strong and cunning people banded together to liberate the city. Among their number was a humble, rather frowsy puppeteer who had built an army of puppets and whose dreams sparkled with one word: freedom. With good planning, shrewd strategy, fierce bravery, and the puppet army, the group overthrew the wicked witch and banished her beyond the realms of ordinary folk, where she could do no further harm. In its liberty, the city gained a new name, and that name was Tegeste Lipo. Celebrations shook the city. You have never seen such a spectacle of drink and delicious food and bang crackling fireworks, and none were happier than the puppeteer, who now set his sights on a legendary creature the wicked witch had kept to herself, a golden canary with immense power, even the power to breathe life into the puppet army and give them those most remarkable of things: souls. The rest of the group encouraged the puppeteer in his plan, but in secret they had concocted plots of their own. They ambushed the puppeteer, taking control of his puppet army, fixing their lapels with bobby pins, and turning the puppets into a despicable police force for the city, the Bobbies. And then they cast the puppeteer out of Tegeste Lipo, the city he had strived to help, which now glittered like a fire opal of prosperity and self-serving advancement in the bearing stone of the land. And they sent him into the wilderness to live out his days. And there he might indeed have lain down. He had worked long and hard. Perhaps he might have rested. But as absence makes the heart grow fonder, so too does exile awaken the patriot in us. In the stone of the puppeteer's own soul, a jewel began to glint: determination, anger, a desire for retribution. The puppeteer did not lie down. He rose up. And you are going to rise with me. my 3 dear children. I have made you with all the craft known to me. You are astonishing, and I am proud of what you are, and thoroughly excited to see what you will become once we return to Tegeste Lipo, once we defeat the city's current cabal of rulers, once we find the Golden Canary, once we turn you and all other enslaved puppets human. So says Geppetto, your father, your creator. As we see this tiny little cabin where you were forged and made whole, we see a little tiny cozy fire that has been built with a small hole in the chimney to accommodate its smoke. We see, as well as the old, wizened, wrinkled, and white-bearded figure of Geppetto himself, we see his 3 puppet children. Let's start with a description of the character, what you look like, and a little bit about your personality from Brian.
So, I am clearly father's favorite. I have, as a warforged puppet, I have the most beautiful, sheening, silvery metal that adorns my body. Characteristically, I have a smog of smoke that appears all around me all the time. I'm just that extra. And my true goal in life is to stand shoulder to shoulder with my father as an equal and not as a product or creation. And I personally believe that I was made in his image because he sees a lot of himself in me. I'm not conceited, I'm just correct.
Thank you, Brian.
My name is Silver.
Thank you. And so it begins. Could we get an introduction from KT?
Well, you could. Well, I am father's favorite. We're all father's favorites. I think Silver's a little, bit of a silly boy. So I am very short, and I have a wooden sheen over my warforged body. It is polished white oak. I have silver eyes and really red hair because I can. And I really love passion fruit. And Lenora is like my idol for having given me the second only ever passion fruit I had because she shared hers with me. And my goal in life is to give her a passion fruit back and love my siblings, most of them, one of them, and the other one, sort of, kind of, because he's pretty cool most of the time, sometimes.
Thank you so much, KT. And finally, last but not least, could we hear from Rachel Ní Chuirc?
So I'm here with my friend. I'd like to introduce you to all of them. Wine. This is a good indication of how the streams are going to go, by the way. Just a heads up. So I am Father's first creation, and he didn't quite have the process down, really, when he got to me. So my name is... Shut up, Silver. My name is Lenora Jenkins. And while my siblings specialize in, like Aetiyen is amazing. The things she can do with her mind just like astonish me every day. Silver, as irritating as he is, the things he can craft just blow my mind, though I would never tell them that. I am big. That's my thing. I tower above my 2 siblings. I am big, I'm hefty, I'm made of what looks like encrusted purple rock and blue eye sockets, head and shoulders above the rest of them. And Leonora's special ability is I smash in more ways than one. And yeah, that's my shtick. Hi, everybody. Lenora Jenkins here.
Absolutely glorious. So, with our 3 characters introduced, Leonora, Silver, and Aetiyen, we get whose name I will pronounce correctly at all times, and I refuse to admit otherwise. Okay, T, are you muted?
No, it was right. I was just holding up a finger going, yeah, it was right.
My friends, with your personal goals in mind, your reasons to become a realized person, you also have the goal initially to reach Tegeste Lipo, far in the north. Setting out with Geppetto, your journey begins like so. Heading north along the Scuff Shoe Road, you travel a week toward the Baker's Fork. It's a wide, deep, and rather dangerous river owned by Don Bartolo, the Lord of Castle Sweets, and he who gave the gingerbread man life, otherwise known as the Muffin Man. It is the 24th of July. The weather is warm and kind. Birds twitter and bees bob, drowsy with summer among the wildflowers. There, in the far east, you can see hills rise and the tangle of wych elms that make up the boundary of the White's Wood. Soon, says Geppetto, soon we'll reach the crossing at Calumny, says Geppetto. After that, we enter the Fens of Fire. There our path takes us toward the not quite yellow brick road and north to Tegeste Lipo. As you near the crossing itself, the crossing that will fjord the Baker's Fork River, tell us a little bit about, we'll go from person to person, tell us how you travel. I imagine a sort of homely wagon drawn by perhaps a single, rather tired dray horse. But I imagine that each of you travels a little individually. Maybe one of you drive in the cabin, maybe some of you walking alongside, and perhaps Geppetto, a much older figure, curled up within. Well, I think we'll start with Rachel on this one. How does Leonora travel?
I think Leonora would like make a point to show that she can go faster than the horse. So she'd be like right up at the front, looking around. She's got her great axe on her back. She is pretending she's scouting. Really, she just doesn't want to talk to Silver because he makes fun of her every time she speaks, and she can never come up with a witty rapport. So she's just she's scouting things out. She's keeping an eye. And she, in her back of her head, she's like, if an arrow or something comes out, I will definitely save Geppetto first, Aetiyen second. If I have time, maybe Silver. And that's that's what she's thinking. She's just keeping an eye out.
Yeah, glorious. And then I suppose we're going in reverse order here. KT, how does Aetiyen travel?
Who's KT?
I see we've begun. Rachel with the wine, KT with the sass.
Well, you see, I have this thing where I can like link to like animals and stuff. It's one of mine. It's a psionic spell because, I do that thing. And I like to find little animals that are, to practice it because you have to practice. If you don't practice, you'll suck. So I find cute little fucking squirrels, and I get to like experience them jumping through trees. That's pretty much what I do. And I completely ignore Silver and I cheer on Lenora. He's been in a pretty grumpy mood. So
ever since you set off, he's been pretty grumpy.
Yeah, when Silly Boy's around us, he often gets grumpy. So it's just best to let him sort of grump.
And I think at this point, perhaps we can hear from Silly Boy Silver himself.
Father, are you aware of the history of this region? I've studied so much about it, and oh look, there she is playing with fucking horses. I know. What is she like? Just like, oh, she's talking to the squirrels. Oh, wow. What were you thinking when you made them? Anyway, so I would just build this rapport, just really highlight how smart I am. And, it's just not seeking approval because that would be petty and below me. This is just a peer talking to another peer and just exchanging the information of this world. What better reward than that?
Leonora's eyes are so far back in her fucking skull from the eye roll she's doing up at the front that she looks blind. That's how far
Yeah,
back they've gone.
I made a squirrel fall off a tree accidentally.
I think at different points during your week-long travel, Geppetto has taken time with each of you individually. I think with Silver, he is delighted in discussing the history of the region, the topography of the landscape. He's found immense joy in the physical prowess that Leonora can demonstrate. Just this incredible bulwark of strength, making her way across the landscape. And then finally, completely bowled over with giggles at each of the antics of these spreading woodland creatures being borrowed mentally by Aetiyen herself. I think Geppetto's good humor, though, wilts quickly, and I shall tell you why. As you approach the crossing, you can hear the liquid gallop of the river, and you can see, off on your right, the little town of Calumny. Night has begun to fall, and under the pink dusk, chimney stacks send up questing fingers of smoke. The crossing nears, and Geppetto's face falls. "What?" he says. "What mischief is this?" Before you, the ruins of the bridge. Once it was made of rock-hard gingerbread, supports of the toughest cake mix, and hardened chocolate struts. Now it lies decimated. Scrawled in graffiti on the crossing's sign is a crowned feminine goblin, her expression sneering. The river runs on, its slosh and murmur oddly taunting in the gathering dark. What would you like to do?
Obviously, just point out to Father that they were the worst building materials ever. What the fuck did they expect to happen when you build a bridge out of shit? As in, like, you know.
Well, my dear Silver, it was within the Muffin Man's purview to craft the most marvelous things out of basic baking ingredients. Why, I could, but this is dreadful, he says, looking back towards the crossing. How are we supposed to get to the other side? The only other ways are fraught with danger, and it is night, and I am tired.
Well, I don't really want to let that mean queen get away. I mean, she's got a crown, right? She's got to be a queen goblin. Let's go slap a bitch. But it's night. Should we sleep first?
Perhaps we should sleep before we slap a bitch.
What if those little fuckers come?
Sorry.
The town is very close by. You think you could get there only within about 10 minutes or so. Leonora, are you?
Nah. Leonora's like, hang on, Dad, I got this. And she goes straight up to the goblin.
Oh,
No, but it's a picture of a goblin.
Oh, it's a picture.
It's so the sign for the cross.
Dumb bitch.
Yeah, I love the idea.
This is very in character. This is very in character.
I love the idea that Geppetto says, "Wait, Leonora, no!" As you approach the sign, Leonora, this is the source of the trouble. This image of the goblin.
Yeah, and Leonora like cuts it in half. She's like, "See, Dad, took care of it. No bots. Done and done."
Charisma -5.
I think Silver, sitting right next to your dad, you would see your dad lay his head in his hand and say, "I'm so proud of her."
Yes, another foe vanquished.
So, wait a second. Distance, does that work good?
What would you like to do, gang?
Well, I was thinking I might, while we go, maybe rest a bit, see if we're in danger of being attacked in the town. Maybe I would just send a couple of, one of my school friends, because there's like a 3-mile radius that I can send this in. And maybe you could scout out and find where the fucking goblins are so we can kill the crap out of them.
I rolled for survival. I got an 18 with my +2. That's 20. I try to see the tracks. Where is this goblin queen at? What's happening? How's it going?
So we have Aetiyen sending off the skittering little squirrel And as it makes its way off into the dark, and you lose sight of it, though keeping your tether mentally to it, you all watch as Leonora hunkers down upon her puppet haunches and examines the area. An 18, Rachel?
I love this.
Yes. So with muted, I'm going to take it was an 18.
Oh shit, sorry. Again, we're very in character. It was an 18, but with my +2, it's a 20, not a natural 20. Thank you, Silver, for being helpful as
Unnatural
always.
20 is incredible.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful result for our first roll. As you look
See,
down,
Silver, it's called being helpful.
at this point,
Father, did you hear that? She's goading me. She's trying to incite something.
Now he pats your hand. Now, children.
She's just being honest.
At this point, you gaze down and look at. This is a well-traveled area. However, Leonora, with your keen eyes, you're able to detect that during recent rainfall, there have been a great deal of impressions compressed into the mud lathered near the loamy banks of the Baker's Fork River. The passage of so many, and yes, they are separate footprints, that would number the goblins in the dozens, if not more. It's a great sum, and you think that it might be a tribe or perhaps even a horde.
You got this, Lenora.
Tribe. We got Lenora.
Bring it.
And I can bring squirrels.
Make my day.
By the way, I'd just like to point out, Silver is in no way from helping. He's just making glib comments the entire fucking time and pointing out everything they're doing wrong and be like, is that all you found out with that survival check?
Brian, you're not supposed to be playing yourself. You're supposed to be playing a character.
I embody Silver. Thank you very much.
My friends, would you like to make your way towards, would you like to follow the tracks along? Would you like to head in the direction of the town? Geppetto is looking very tired.
Okay, only because Dad. I'm worried about Dad. So I'm like, okay, let's take him. We can drop him off at the town, get some Z's, go after, fuck up some goblins.
Oh, you are kind, Leonora. Thank you. Perhaps by a warm fire, the balmy weather of evening shall further warm my aching bones.
Shouldn't we have maybe dropped Dad back, at the village?
Yeah, we're going. That's where we're going. We're going to go drop Dad off at the village. Don't worry.
I'm sorry. I was watching stuff through my squirrel eyes, and it just it gets a little. They chitter a lot, like, dude. They never shut up.
They certainly do chitter a great deal, my friends. Okay, as you enter the town itself, the little town has very, very few charms for the wayward traveler, but to your puppet eyes, it's rather remarkable. The largesse of these houses, with 4 brick walls and chimneys like smoking pipes, the inviting orange light spilling like juice onto manicured gardens and shaven summer grass. You all spy the local inn. 8:30 in the evening, and the Stout Fox Inn is quite busy. A few sights draw your gaze instantaneously. The barkeep is a gnome, her nose and brow smattered in freckles, and her hair as red as the fire in the hearth, which, incidentally, is shaped like a fat fox, lying with its belly turned up and moreover exposed and stuffed with cut logs and burning merrily. You can see a trio of tieflings, horned, red and purple pallid creatures, humanoid in shape, but with a slightly fiendish air. You can see that the tieflings are wearing motley bangles and bright colors, talking to a large man with a barrel chest partially uncovered by his open shirt buttons and enormous forearms, both covered in heavy helpings of coarse black hair. Aside from these notable figures, there are what you might call plenty of the local element: flirtations, gossip, and plates of fish pie with mustard served with mugs of oak dark ale to wash it down. What would you like to do now you've arrived?
Wait, sorry. Go back to the guy with the open shirt. How hot is he? Leonora wonders.
Attraction varies from character to character based on your personal preferences.
Can I roll to see how attracted I am to him?
I think that's just a decision that your character would make, Rachel.
Let's see. Oh, it's a
Maybe-
1. She thinks he's rank.
I highly doubt he has a splinter fetish, you wooden bitch.
A puppet can dream. However, yes, at this point, what would you guys like to do? Geppetto, eyeing the fat fox fire, is going to nod to all of you and says, mingle as you like, my children. Only don't get into too much trouble. Our road is very long.
He needs to sleep. You need to sleep, Dad. You need to go and get some rest and get warm and get some food, some soup and some bread in you.
You are too kind, Aetiyen,
Yes,
and wise, very sage. I should get some soup. It is what I am in the mood for. Barkeep, and you see he toddles over to the barkeep, who waves him over at once. She seems very, very friendly.
Very friendly to our dad. Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Glare from the doorway with arms folded, being like, ugh, why are they like this?
Is there a group, like, who's the kind of closest group of people to me? Because I want to go up and be like, okay, what's the story with the bridge? Anyone know anything about these goblins? Like, what's happening?
The inn is actually small and cozy enough that within about a few strides, you could make your way to any table. Do the tieflings interest you? They're chatting to that large man over there. There's also some of the local elements. You could approach a group of young men, young women. You could approach a few
No,
of
the
the older.
tieflings. The tieflings and the big guy. I'll go up to him and be like,
They look
hey,
semi-friendly.
they look semi-friendly. I'll go up to them and be like, hey, so sorry to interrupt. What's the story with the goblins? Any word here? What's crack?
Fabulous. Leonora
like-
making her way towards them. Any Aetiyen, where are you headed?
Oh, I like leaving this to Leonora because she speaks fluent wine, and so therefore she'll be able to understand them because it's already 8:30 at night, mate. So these people have obviously been drinking a bit. So I'll
Yes.
just keep following my little squirrel that's still trying to find the fucking goblins. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Silver, you're just lingering in the door for the moment?
No, I've seen an opportunity for fun. I would like to go behind Lenora, and then just as she is making her introduction, I would like to ask the group a question. By any chance, was there a bounty on this terrifying image of a goblin queen? Because Lenora here has vanquished it. We would be happy to take any coin or trinkets or gumdrops or whatever the fuck you have here as reward.
As you both approach, you can see that the three tieflings look at you with a difficult to discern quality. I think the two of you could make insight checks if you'd like. So this is with the three tieflings and the large man.
Is this me as well? Sorry.
Oh yes, both of you.
I only got a 10 and I've no bonus.
That's okay.
15.
10, you find them difficult to read, Leonora. With a 15, Silver. The tieflings give an energy of ill-contentedness. They are either strangers here, or they're, with a 15, you think they might be uncomfortable with the figure they're talking to. However, 15 is enough to discern that their eyes are darting towards him pretty consistently. While he might make them uncomfortable, there is a gravity to him. There is a need. These people want something from him. At this point, one of them opens their mouth, and the figure sitting back with his arms across his barrel chest says, "What are you talking about? What image?"
Maybe saw it, big goblin, looking like a queen. I'll give her that. Up at the old Muffin Man's gingerbread bridge, the one that fell apart.
Oh, you mean the crossing. Yeah, I know it.
Sorry. Crossing. My bad.
He squints at you and he says, "I never seen your kind before." but it's nice to meet you. I'm having a conversation, bit of a chinwag, with these here boys. Maybe I can talk to y'all in a minute. Sound good?
Sounds very good. Bye.
That's great.
Yeah. I think.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the squirrel? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Do any of you stick close enough to listen to that conversation?
Oh, I was going to say Leonora doesn't pick up on the hint at all. Leonora is like, okay, Matthew McConaughey, that's fine. I just need a second. I wanted to know, do you know anything about the goblins? She doesn't pick up on it at all, the sign to get the fuck out.
Yeah, 100%. So you're literally just lingering.
And I just want Silver to be like, so like we both saw the same situation. Like, move.
Yeah, Leonora might be really big, but it doesn't mean things don't go over her head. You hear one of the tieflings sits forward, and another one slaps him and says, "You shut up, Bacon. Me and Bagley are the ones in on this." And Bacon says, "Oh, Backer, you're so mean to me. This is why." And he says, "Shut up. Look, Mr. Jamhorn," he says to the big, huge fella, who says, "No, thanks, though. Really appreciate you thinking of me. But the answer's no." "But, Mr. Jamhorn, we've got to meet Rumpelstiltskin." "No, you don't. What you've got to do is wise up. Get yourself some clothes that say anything other than, 'Please, oh please, rob me,' and go home to your mama. She might be a mean-mouthed old battle axe, but she's better than Rumpelstiltskin. I should know. I've met him." "You did? Well, we figured, but what's he like?" says Backer. "I'd say he's a very respectable man." "He's a Gujoki lamp." A what?" "Out in the Nor'wester swamps, those too stubborn to run from the biting bugs build shacks half sunk in a quagmire. Ugly, damp, disease-ridden places, but enduring as shit on a sleeping donkey hoof. They got these Gujoki lamps going, shiny and sweet-smelling. Bugs come in, nice, hopeful-eyed bugs. Some of them striped and motley," he says, looking at the tieflings in their bright colors. "Those bugs come in drawn by the shiny, by the sweet. Then the Gujoki lamp clamps shut. 'Cause the lamp ain't a lamp, it's a trap. And Rumpelstiltskin ain't respectable. Maybe he seems that way, his reputation, but he ain't like Johnny Croak or Cinderella or them fancy champagne swilling types. He's a trap that looks like a lamp. Not a fucking blue ounce of respectability. Hell, come to think of it, I think the jury's out on whether or not he's a man. Go home, boys. That's what I say." And he gets up and walks to the bar.
Breaking character to be like, fucking hell, Jack, chills.
And you ruined it.
I'm now back in roleplay. Leonora and me, hair's breadth from each other.
Hell yes. So, my friends, what would you guys like to do? There's clearly been a bit of back and forth here, but is there anyone you'd like to speak to? Anyone you'd like to meet? Or do you just wish to while
I
away
really
the-
just want to go fucking kill those goblins because gingerbread is amazing. How dare they?
Yeah, an understandable motivation for your D&D character. So Aetiyen looks really impatient to get going.
But it's dark. It's probably
Yes,
a bad
it is.
idea.
Yes.
Goblins can see in the dark, I think, mostly,
True.
right? Like we don't want to go in there with a disadvantage. I'd have to telepathically link to a bat, and bats are just little shits, man. Fucking screeching all the time. Oh, it's not fun. So.
I like to imagine that this is all out loud, and like several people are like looking up at you. There's a wooden woman, aye, and she's talking to herself.
I just
That's
walk
very-
over and make an excuse for my sister, being like, she was better use as a tree.
One of the men says, that there's a wooden man, and the other says, oh, and he's talking to us.
And then just like with my hands, because I can cast fireball, I'm kind of like, just like little like, bit of magic, be like, just like, ooh, mysterious.
I think at this point, Leonora, as you can see, I think you were right next to the tieflings who are now in conversation with one another. You can see the guy over by the bar. His name is Mr. Jamhorn, you think you heard. And however, you can see what looks like a flash of movement, light then dark. And leaping onto one shoulder, then another, is one pale gold kitten and one deep black one. One of them, despite your wooden quality to your physique, nuzzles up against you.
That's not
Leonora fucking freezes because she's so scared she'll scare them off that she just fucking stands there and she's like, oh my god, you're so fucking cute. Oh my
You
fucking
can see
god.
that the bartender comes out and she serves some drinks to the tieflings and she wipes down a table nearby and she says, sorry, those are my two cats.
You should.
Oh, did it twice. Never apologize for your cats. They're absolutely adorable. Who are these two adorable little fellows?
The pale golden one is named Noon and the other one's called Midnight.
Did Dawn die?
She turns around and there's a moment where there's a quiet and then she goes, that was a good one. And she says, welcome. And you're all very welcome. Sorry I didn't get a chance to say it to any of you, but when you came in, I should have really rolled out the welcome mat. Great to see some strange faces. And she says, my name is Tettlemeyer Billybugshire, and this, the Stout Fox, is my inn.
Tattlemeyer Billybugshire, it is an absolute pleasure to meet you. Would you mind sorting out my dad here with some food? You don't need to worry about us. And send me the bill, will you? Good on you.
You see, she says, you keep an eye on my cat, and I'm well ahead of you. And she nods over towards the bar where you can see Geppetto is working his way around Soup going like this. Oh, very good, very good.
I just turn around and be like, by any chance, do you have any passion fruit here?
Passion fruit? I'm afraid not. We're only a small, simple community, and unfortunately, we don't get a huge amount of trade.
Yeah, no, not to worry at all. I just find it very funny. Thank you so much.
Silver, you fucking...
Those goblins aren't going to catch themselves, Aetiyen. Why are you still here? Oh!
She says, are you three made out of wood?
Among many things, babe, but yeah.
Yeah.
One of the cats
Sorta.
sits to the other shoulder, so now you've got two cats on the one shoulder, two little kittens. And Tettlemeyer Billybugshire says, good one. You three are very funny. Right, well, can you eat and have drinks?
I'm not hungry. I'm good.
Out of character, can we eat and have drinks?
Geppetto says, debate.
Just start leaking out of like edges. Just be like, delicious, thank you. Can we also have a mop? She's a messy eater.
Because you guys do have Geppetto is a magical craftsperson. Like he has imbued you with like olfactory senses, like you can smell, you can taste, you can enjoy your environment, and you do actually have a digestive system. So you can actually eat. It just isn't quite as, shall we say, amazing or as sensorially amazing as
Which is why I need a passion fruit, and Silver's just really fucking pissed me off. So
It's true. She says, if you can drink, have a few bevies, I can get you perhaps a delicious ale, a barley beer, and we have some vodka if you'd like.
I'd love a vodka. You absolute darling. Give me the biggest vodka you got. Yeah, go for it.
Right, right. And for the other two?
I'll do a barley ale. That'd be nice.
Right, right. Not necessarily. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Grant. She goes perfect, and she says, and for you, Mister.
I'll take whatever you've been polishing that very shiny bar with. The road has been not kind, and I just, would like to buff up a bit.
You want some wood lacquer,
Yeah.
like for your face?
Well, I'm not one for liquor, but I'm always one for lacquer.
Right, right. Okay, probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I can't actually react. That's how good it was. Right, no, it's coming now, and she leans her head backwards and explodes. She is so small. Gnomes are like 2 foot tall. The laughter, she fills this place with the melody of her laughter, and she slaps you on the back and says, "I really like you lot. What's your names, if I might ask?"
Lenora, after he says that line, leans down and goes, "He's practiced that in the mirror like 20 times."
She says, "So it's Leonora," and then she finds if you guys are comfortable telling her your names, it's Aetiyen and Silver.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "A pleasure. Make yourselves at home. My humble house is your humble house."
I am fascinated by the kittens on Lenora's shoulder
Yes.
because kittens are a lot smarter than squirrels, you see, and they make a lot more sense when they're talking. So it's a lot more fun to be telepathically linked to one, but it's probably not a good idea to telepathically link to one of these because it belongs to the owner of the inn. Probably
Clever.
wouldn't want them accidentally killed by goblins.
I think that's very respectful
Yes.
of you. I think so.
Squirrels are a dime a dozen. Cute, but generally just not there.
Incredibly so. Do any of you three want to ask any questions of anyone in the bar, or will you let the night pass a little bit and see where it takes you?
I'd like to maybe just offer, if it's all right, because I'm like, this is nice, but I'm not one for the merriment and the dancing or the revelry.
We've noticed.
Go fuck yourself. So what I'd really like is like to ask, is there anything around the place that needs potentially mending or fixing up or repairing? I don't like to let the skills go a bit rusty.
Yeah, I think that you could
Build some goodwill.
Silver, make a persuasion check.
Oh, that is a dirty 20, so 17 plus 3.
That's really, really strong. I think Tettlemeyer Billybugshire will nod and her eyes will glimmer approvingly. I'll tell you what, for the price of those drinks, as well as the meal that I'm serving to your lovely paternal figure, she says, looking towards Geppetto, she says, "I'd be delighted if you could mend one of my tables that was broken when Mr. Jamhorn got into a bit of a scrape last week." Does that sound good?
Sounds perfect. Point me in the right direction.
You see that the big figure with the hairy forearms and the barrel chest, Mr. Jamhorn, waving in your direction. "Thanks, appreciate it."
No problem, Jamhorn.
She says, "I put him up because he hasn't got a place of his own, you see, but I find him to be a wonderful figure, and he comes with some interesting stories, and I believe he's relatively close with the mayor of our little town as well, so stay on his good side."
Who's the mayor?
Oh, that would be Mistress Upsize. Yeah, she'll probably, if you meet her, she'll probably give off that line she has about the women in her family and upsizing. Ugh, don't get me started.
So I'll just be like, table. So, like, don't give a shit about all of this. I'm like, just like have your fun adventure with the goblins. There's tables that need fixing.
I need to show off to Dad.
Yeah,
But
well, I'm the one being fucking helpful to these people. Dad is totally watching right now. Get fucked.
While Silver is mending this broken table in the corner, by the candlelight and the flickering firelight, what are Leonora and Aetiyen up to?
I'm still partially distracted by the squirrel, who is almost at the extent of one direction of the 3 miles, still trying to find the goblins. It's very
Yeah.
distractible. It likes nuts a whole lot. So,
Aetiyen, I think you could make a nature check. Nature or perception, your choice.
I'm trying to find what I roll.
Oh, it's a D20. Always.
Yeah, got it. Trying to find like, oh, okay.
Nice. Oh no.
I got a 2.
Hey, look.
So it's a 3. It's a 3.
So, for a moment, you think,
He's a smart one.
I have it. You think, I have it. The headquarters. My squirrel's eyes, well suited for the nocturnal hunt, have found this thing. And you know that you have found the headquarters of the goblins. As you approach, a feeling of creeping dread comes over you because it's the fucking sign again. It's been cut in half by Leonora. You sent the squirrel in the wrong direction. The creature is looking at the decapitated sign. You sent it to the sign.
I was kind of
Damn
looking
it.
for a squirrel gangbang.
Oh,
What is this?
Hey, listen, keep your porn searches out of this, all right?
Yeah.
Silver, calm down, okay? We don't need any of that here.
damn
So,
it. Bloody squirrels.
Etienne, I think that you would also see whatever Leonora is up to. Leonora, how are you impressing your father, or how are you talking to anyone? What's the story?
I think she would tell herself she doesn't need to impress her dad, but also it's because she thinks she can't. So she wouldn't be engaging in something like that. Instead she'd do is she'd be like, Jamhorn, he looks important. So I think she'd rock on up to him and just be like, Leonora, nice to meet you.
Well, you say your name is Leonora, but
I
I think your name is Next Round.
Oh, Leonora dabs because that was pretty smooth.
He says, nice.
And buys him the next round. I have 10 gold, according to my sheet. So I buy both of us the next
Yeah,
round.
I think Geppetto has, through his many years in exile from Digeste Lipo, he has managed to save a certain amount of gold to give his children as a kind of a, hey, look, this is your start, kids. I love you guys. Get out in the world. And as you pay for the drink, I think it won't cost. So it's 10 gold to a silver. 10 silver to a gold, Rachel. So I think it'll cost you 3 silver. He says, much obliged. What can I do for you, Leonora?
Nothing. I just exactly apologies for interrupting the conversation earlier. I heard mention of Rumpelstiltskin. My dad used to tell me stories about him. I didn't know you knew him. Why am I doing your accent, but very badly?
I kind of like it. He says, well, which one's your daddy?
I point at Geppetto over in the corner, and I was like, "That's my daddy."
You like him old?
Oh, I do. Well, I like him anyway.
Oh, your real dad? Oh, he says, oh, okay, I understand. He says, well, as we used to call him, Rumpelstiltskin, our little nickname for him being Crumple Foreskin. We used to make a lot of fun of him back in the day. But I was friends with a different crowd, the Butterbends.
The Butterbends. Oh, who are they? They sound impressive.
He looks at his hand, wipes it on his shirt, and extends it to you and says, my name's Ernest, by the way.
Ernest suits you much better than Jamhorn. Pleasure to meet you.
I mean, it's my second name, Ernest Jamhorn, but there. He says, as he shakes your hand and says, the Butterbends were a family of bears. 3 bears. A couple of years ago, well, a couple of decades ago, the Butterbends and I, we were fine. Just fine. Then this curly-haired little, and he cuts off the word he's about to say, and he says, this piece of work turns up, and she enslaves them, my friends, and her golden locks done take my friends on a whirlwind adventure to Tegeste Lipo, and I haven't seen them since. Tell you the truth, Leonora, I miss the days with the Butterbends when jam and butter occupied the sandwich of friendship.
Table's done. Did you see, Father? Did you see the table's done?
It's very good, Silva. Very good.
Yeah.
Did you make that yourself out of raw materials?
No, Father. I just improved what was here.
And he touches your arm and says, sometimes improvement is just as impressive as creation.
Thank you, Father. Lenora's annoying the nice gentleman over there. You should probably tell her to shut up.
I could not, even if I tried.
Oh, Dad does know me. So I think Leonora would actually be quite moved by Jammer. She thought he was kind of a bit of a dickhead when she first met him, but this is kind of unexpected for her. So she turned around and be like, listen, I'm making no promises, but I'm on the way to the city. And if I happen to come across your bear friends, all I can say is I promise I'll do everything I can to get them out from this Goldilocks one. She sounds like a proper mercenary. That's all I can say. Ain't making you no promises, but I'll do what I can.
Make a persuasion check. Take advantage, as in roll twice and take the higher result.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, hang on. Oh,
It's
okay,
because
that's
she's
9.
fucking golden retriever energy.
I do, thank you. So I have a +1, so that's a 10. Please be better. 12 + 2, 14?
14 in total.
14 in total on my second one.
You see Ernest keep your eye contact while he scratches his huge hand and the fingertips over his crust of beard. He says, that would be fine. Mighty fine. I suspect we could be friends, Leonora. You strike as a simple type, just like me.
I'd really like that, Jamhorn. Sorry, Ernest. I'd like that a whole lot.
Oh, shit. Call me Ernie. At this point, my friends, as this is happening, the night has drawn on a little bit. I think Geppetto will signal to you all that he's ready for bed. He speaks with Tettlemeyer Billybugshire, who has found her 2 cats returned to her, slinking in that sort of mercurial way that kittens have over her forearms and over the lovely polished wood of the bar. And Geppetto heads upstairs with a wave to all of you 3 that says both, hey, we started our journey. I'm proud of you, and good night. At this point, the 3 of you, as you're, would you guys kind of meet up to have a chat together, or would you to discuss the time tomorrow, or would you be spread out?
Well, I had to go to the door to get an owl to go scout out for me because I lost the squirrel.
Yeah.
The owl
An
actually
owl.
attacked the squirrel, and you're like, oh shit, we'll use that one instead. It seems smarter.
And
The
it
predator.
likes me now because I brought a squirrel to it. You see? Like a
I love this.
sacrificial
It's like
connection.
the hierarchy of the animal kingdom as we progress. So the dragon got the griffin. The griffin had gotten to this, and it all started with a fucking squirrel.
Okay, but I don't know. Silva's not always very open to us, so I don't know. I think we could have a really quick discussion that let's go kill the fucking goblins tomorrow morning because it would be a good exercise in how we handle ourselves. See?
I think Leonora would agree wholeheartedly, but also be like, we should ask Tettlehorn Brindlebarn if she knows anything about the goblins.
Tettlemeyer Billybugshire, I think it is.
That one. We should ask her like what the story is with the goblins because we're really working on no info here, guys. And listen,
That's a good
I'm
point.
good, but I'm not that good.
And you already killed the sign.
I was
Yes.
just being cautious, guys. Okay, you don't need to make a big thing out of it. I was just making sure.
At this point, okay, night is drawing on. But when it happens slowly. The hum of conversation softens, hushes, and then goes completely quiet. Outside, growing louder, a rabble of rough, eerily raspy voices. A shadow darkens the door. A moment passes, and the inn holds its breath.
Oh,
Then,
the sentient inn. I'm sorry.
then in they come, hunched, their long green faces split in savage grins, elbows and chins tufted in lank hair the color of pond scum, trophies jangling, red eyes swiveling. A troop of goblins arrives at the Stout Fox Inn, and they are singing. They sing to you and to the assembled gathering. Good evening to you, pink-flesh subjects true. We shall not pilfer much of your dear time. We have come to claim the tithe from you, a purse of gold for our queen most sublime. No whimpers now, or tricks or daring do. Make our palms clink, and we shall quit this place, back to the scrumptious hall of castle suites, back to Queen Barganot, her treacle crown grace.
Just point out that there's a fucking
I
owl.
knew we should have fucking gone and killed these guys.
Yeah, I know. What I love is that there was a fucking owl sent out and a squirrel, and they're like, "Where the fuck are these goblins? They're here. They're with us. They're with us."
I was circumventing the front of the inn.
So you all watch as there's clearly a lead goblin in charge, but he sends his lackeys out into the crowd with little pouches, and people are miserably handing over gold coins that they have, and they don't really, and some people don't have much at all, and you think it might be their entire week's worth of food that they're giving up, or perhaps
Oh no
longer.
This is bullshit.
no.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're stubborn.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'll
yeah.
finish your explanation. Sorry.
No, you're so good. You're so good. I imagine, like, actually, let's get a moment of insight into each character's mind and thoughts, because something's going to happen pretty quickly as soon as these guys come in. But we'll go from character to character just to hear what you're thinking. What's your reaction to the arrival? Brian, did you pop your hand up there?
Yeah, like the first thing I would immediately say is Lenore, no, as in, and that it's like protect father. Lenora, no, and then full stop, protect father.
So your thoughts, Silver. In other words, your thoughts are very, very dad focused.
Dad focused, as in, like, I am like, he is vulnerable. This is a threat. If Lenora kicks off, then this turns into like a fucking shit show. Like, if those two get pissed, this is a shit show. We don't know what this is. We don't know the customs. We don't know if this is normal. We don't know what the backlash would be. There are so many things to think of, and they won't think. They'll just see red.
This is, yeah, that was fabulous, Brian. I think as a direct consequence of that, I think we should jump into Leonora's head.
I think she'd stop because she'd listen, though she doesn't like to. Silver occasionally speaks sense. So she'd listen to what he said, and she'd turn. Geppetto's with us, or has he gone up to bed?
Geppetto has gone up to bed.
He's gone up to bed.
But is very much in the proximity of all this. Okay. You know what I mean?
I'd say Dad made us to free the puppets who are trapped and have no freedom. They have no lives, and they deserve to be human. What kind of daughter would I be if I turned around and I let these goblins take advantage of these people?
And that was awesome, Rachel. And Aetiyen?
Oh, my frame of mind is fuck this.
like in what
Fuck
capacity?
this.
Like fuck
They
these guys.
can't take. Yeah, fuck these goblins. They can't take money off these people who probably don't have anything else, or it doesn't matter. The money doesn't belong to the goblins. Fuck them. And they're
Yeah.
really nasty. Like they're kind
Yeah.
of gross.
They
I don't really
really
like
are.
gross things very much. And my owl is like staying outside because the smell is pretty rank, man. I mean, they don't bathe. And they're fucking greedy. No, just no.
Yeah, Aetiyen, Katie, I can really feel Etienne's revulsion there. That's fantastic. I think all of you would see pretty quickly a situation develop, and it happens so fast because the build up to this was so slow. It's crazy how quick this happens. The leader approaches the bar and hands out the hand towards Tettelmeyer, past one of the kittens, past Little Midnight.
Scratch, kitty, scratch.
And you can see the goblin, the lips seem to split. It's like its mouth is a surgeon kit, each of its teeth a rotten, rusty scalpel. And as it leers towards Tettelmeyer, she
That's
says,
where the smell's coming from.
yeah, exactly. And Tettelmeyer says, look, I'm sorry, but I can give a little, but you don't understand. I don't. And the goblin hand holds up a finger, and wordlessly, with that grin not disappearing, snatches the kitten.
Oh,
His jaw begins
No,
to
No.
begins
nope,
to.
not the kitten.
Okay.
Nope.
I see you guys. I see you. Are
All
we
you
launching
hear
this? Yeah.
echoing
What do we hear?
throughout
What do we
the
hear?
entire tavern is
Yeah.
Lenora Jenkins.
Fuck.
I was going. I
That's
could
all you hear. And
pierce
in
the
she
dude's
fucking
brain.
you don't touch that fucking cat.
So
I wanted
yeah.
to pierce his brain with one of my spells because that would
Yeah.
be fun.
So here's how we're going to skip the initiative, or traditionally in Dungeons and Dragons, there's an initiative roll. For the sake of speed, we're actually going to ignore it. Heroes, that's you three, will always go first. Your enemies will go second. At the moment, you have the leader trying to place poor Kitten Midnight between his terrible jaws, two tougher-looking goblins in leather armor, and 10 of the lackeys spread out amongst the crowd. So, on your turn, the players can go in whatever order they wish. This is how this updated initiative order works. So, if we can be pretty quick about the decision, that would be fabulous, just to keep things moving. But let's rock. Who wants to go first? And yeah.
I rage.
Oh, so is that Rachel? Is that what your way of saying Leonora first?
Yeah.
Okay.
She fucking straight in. She screams her battle cry, and in she fucking goes. I get +2 on strength checks.
Okay.
And I gain advantage on strength checks and +2 melee damage. That does not affect my whether or not I hit, right? It's just my actual initial attacks, right?
Not unless you're using the barbarian feature reckless attack,
No,
which would give you
which I
advantage.
don't have yet, I think. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So I'm
I
going
think
to
you
roll
get
the hit, and I'm going to roll for damage. No, I did that
Who are
wrong.
you rolling to hit, Rachel?
Pardon?
Who are you attacking?
Kitten fucker. That one.
So give yourself a kitten.
Use your words better.
We'll call
Okay.
The
this
kitten
guy.
fucker.
She's angry.
I'm
Yeah.
very mad.
We'll call this guy the underboss for purposes of
Underboss. I rolled 16 to hit.
16 against this figure is a miss.
What?
Yes.
Motherfucker. Carry on.
Rachel, at second level, you do have the barbarian feature, reckless attack. Should you wish to gain advantage, it will give enemies advantage against you.
Done. Yeah, bring it for the cat. Yeah, so I roll again, right? To hit.
Oh yeah.
18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll
And then,
damage.
wait, where's my +12? That is my +12. Sorry, that's my 12 dice. Oh, fuck, that's only 2, but I get 3 and then 5, 6, 7.
7 points.
Because I only rolled a 2 there.
What does it look like as you strike into this creature with your weapon?
I think when she rages, her perception is not so good. So if there was a table in front of her or a chair,
Not
may
the
as well
fucking
not have
table.
been.
There is a
I-
brand new table.
There's a brand new table. Leonora doesn't see it. Leonora charges right through that shittily repaired table, snaps it in fucking two.
Why do you think I'm so good at repairing tables?
And
Why do you think I'm so good at this?
down it goes. A single step, snapped in two. She comes up to the goblin as it's holding up the kitten, and down her fucking sword goes, cutting its arm clean right off.
You watch
Yeah.
so traditionally in terms
The one that
of
had the cat. The arm that had the cat.
the dealing of grievous injury is generally something that I can deal with as the Fable Master in terms of like arms and limbs being chopped off and stuff like that. However, given that this is your first combat, the arm comes off. As you slice through it, the gristle of its goblin muscle is sliced through instantaneously. The kitten leaps immediately onto your shoulder, meowing and mewling in fear as this thing's breath is washed over it warmly. The creature looks at you. Who the fuck are you, mate? You see that?
You give him an Aussie accent?
Oh yeah, the goblins have Australian accents.
Yes.
He says, "I had two choices. Maybe. I had Cockney English or Australian. Be grateful." At this point, the creature says, "You're dealing with Grishk Nebelwinds, mate." You see that as the creature's arm pumps, it looks down and says, "That won't stop me either, you slinger." At this point, we can switch either to Aetiyen or to Silver. Your choice.
I would like to pierce his brain with like
an owl.
I can't get them to attack, sadly. Yet.
I love how Silver is even in the middle of a fucking combat. Still Silver.
I know, right? Okay, so in my mind, because I think sometimes I'm like, well, this guy's the leader. So if the leader dies, if we just kill the fucking leader, then the others might,
Well, this is the underboss. There's another boss, so this is the second.
But not in the room. But not in the room with us.
That's right. So we have.
So he's the boss in the room.
And this is the leader in the room. You're exactly right.
There's a leader in the room, then he's got 2 henchmen, and then he's got 10 little pity pawn pieces of shit. So if we can nail this fucker, the others are going to be like kind of a little off kilter. So
what you got?
So I was thinking I'd use dissonant whispers, which is like a major pain, like it gives them terrible racking pain. Yeah. And if it's successful, he takes like 4d6 damage, which is really nice.
Would you like to cast that?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So that spends one of your first level spell slots, and I believe, do I have a wisdom saving throw in my future, or is it Constitution?
That is a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, this creature is not the wisest. That's a 4. Roll damage.
Leonora's in the background going, "Stops this!"
6, 10, 12, 15.
15 points. I think that this hurts the underboss very badly. Aetiyen, what happens? What do we see?
Kind of like it comes to the braces, like blood coming out of his ears and out of his nose and out of his eyes, and it's really bad.
Yeah,
his head kind of does a little bit of a cave in one spot because Yeah.
Oh, that's vivid. Yeah, that's great. The creature, as it slinks back. However, Silver, at the same time, what are you doing?
Oh, fuck's sake. I'm just there looking at the table. And then
are you literally not going to help?
A part of me just wants to fix the table. But as in that principles are important. Anyway, so on the far side of the room, I imagine near the entrance and stuff like this, I can see there's a tankard filled with ale or vodka or whatever it may be. And I would like to use catapult to send it directly into the back of your man's skull. So literally standing where I am, it's like... least amount of fucking effort. And just be like, no.
Silver, that is spectacular. Go ahead and make your, I believe it's a ranged spell attack roll.
Yes. So. Is a 17 enough?
17 just hits.
Oh, thank fuck.
Roll your damage.
That is a 15. So it's 3d8s.
Holy crap. So I'm going to need to use his reaction. You all watch as Gretch Nibelwins, this goblin underboss, watches Silver do this, goes, as face constricts as he watches this payload blasting towards him. You watch as, so Cowardly Commander, his reaction, when a creature the underboss can see hits them with an attack, and this is an attack, the underboss chooses a willing ally within 5 feet of them. The attack hits the ally instead. So you watch as he grabs one of his lackeys.
Can I use a reaction?
What would that be?
Silvery barbs.
What does Silvery Barbs do in this situation, Brian?
Silvery Barbs, you magically distract the triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. The triggering creature must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll.
So what d20 roll are you talking about?
So whatever the, the one getting in the way.
Oh, that's not a reaction. That's just an effect.
That just happens. Cool.
But a good thought, and certainly one that could be used for the future. The lackeys, what does it look like, Brian, as the lackey is hit by the burning tankard?
I actually think that we can't see the lackey. All we see is it's just like something jumping and then just like a splash behind the underboss of all this alcohol and blood as it literally explodes.
Oh my God.
So it's just a rain of blood and alcohol. And I'm just kind of ugh.
That is incredible.
I'm looking at the table now covered in blood and alcohol. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
You're never going to get that out. Never.
So
the stains will not come out.
Exactly. We have now the goblins themselves. The creatures have 9 lackeys.
Oh God, they all have advantage against me because I used reckless attack.
That is true.
You should have shut your mouth.
So
I wanted to save the kitten.
You did save the kitten.
Yeah, there's 9 of these things. So they're going to, 3 of them are going to gang up around each of you and take out their tiny daggers. We've got against, what is your armor class, Silver?
It is 12. However, would they know that I'm actually one of the instigators here? Because Catapult wasn't, I didn't look like I was attacking them. I'm just there, standing, being like... Boop.
That's a very good point. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Thank you. Oh, 17.
Really good. So 6 of them attack Leonora.
Illusions.
Mine was a mind attack. So would they notice me doing a mind attack?
It's such a good point, Katie.
Don't make motherfucking 9 of them come at me with advantage.
Rachel, what is your AC?
My AC's 15, so it's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna roll 18 dice.
My favorite part about this is that you get hurt. Oh,
okay, here we go. That is.
No, okay. Lenora threw herself under the fucking bus, Jay.
Leonora's like, this is why I'm the fucking biggest.
Okay.
She is the boss.
It's why she's the best.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
why she's the best.
Operation Human Shield is go.
Well, I was just thinking, if they didn't see him doing that, how would they see me going?
Leonora, as the creatures surround you, their stabs are so small and quick, it feels like being pin-cushioned by tiny arrows. Not each one of them individually, not particularly painful, but in completion, the actual totality of your form is very compromised, your puppet form. So you are raging, as far as I'm aware,
yes,
which gives you half damage. So instead, half damage received. So instead of the 9 piercing damage that these little creatures would give you, it is only 4.
She's yelling, "Suck it, Silver."
The 2 goblin warriors
Ooh, silver.
are going to. The 2 goblin warriors are going to attack you as well. I suppose the 2 others have made their little stealth checks, so I suppose I have to. I'm so sorry, Rachel.
Bring it. She's on 19 health. She good.
Okay, excellent. So with advantage, that is a 13, that's a miss, and a 23, which is a hit, for 5 points of piercing damage reduced to 2. However, the underboss is going to...
God, how many hit points does that fucker have? He's already taken like 22 damage.
Yeah.
No, you didn't take the 15 from me. That was
Yeah,
someone
no,
else.
15 from me.
13. Yeah, no,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
he took a lot. So I really think it might be time for Headbutt City after this, but we'll see how it goes.
The underboss is first going to target... Actually, I think he's going to swing twice at Tettlemeyer Billybugshire, the innkeeper. That is a hit, and that is also a hit. So Tettlemeyer is going to take 12 points of damage. Perfect. You all watch as he looks towards the cats and he says, "Dirty little animals." And he looks towards her and says, "Dirty little animal owner, you should have paid." You watch as he lunges over the bar, grabs her by the shoulder, yanks her close, and sticks her with his curved blade. You can see that her blood jets out in a red lance as her shoulder and part of her upper torso is opened. You watch as her eyes roll back in her head and she is unconscious, not dead, but bleeding out and dying. He turns around to you, Leonora, and says, "Now for the other animal. You're going to remember Gritch, wooden woman."
Okay,
It
first up,
is-
why the fuck am I not a healer? Second,
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Somnia Online.
I know, right?
And at this point, 2 other things happen. The first is that Ernest Jamhorn tackles one of the leather-wearing goblins and starts trying to rip its jaw off with his hands. As he does so, Ernest Jamhorn begins to grow. You watch as his shirt bursts off him, his hair covers and coats his entire body, and his face elongates into an ursine face. He is a werebear, and he roars his rage as that goblin's jaw comes ripped off. You watch as the creature dies instantaneously, and that is another creature out of the fight. You watch as the bear turns towards you, Leonora, and goes, "You can still call me Ernie."
And I think you've never looked hotter, Ernie.
Would he not be Bernie now?
Oh, get in the fucking bin.
The final thing that happens this round, incredible, by the way, Brian. I will not forget that in a hurry, and that might be a threat. At this point, a figure who is cloaked, wearing a hood, and think very Aragorn-esque in Fellowship of the Ring in the inn. The figure who's cloaked stands up, draws a rapier, and stabs one of the goblin lackeys through the heart. So, just to let you know, again, we have 2 of these warriors, the underboss, and 8 lackeys remaining. And it is back to the hero's turn. What would you guys like to do?
I'm very focused right now on the fact that the really nice bartender lady is bleeding out, and it's making me very upset. Just wanted to say that.
But I'll give you a look to be like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay,
Great.
so who's taking the lead?
I would like to power slide in behind the bar and literally just fucking put my hand down on the barkeep and cast Cure Wounds.
Oh shit! Just right away.
Just right away. I know it's like, so I imagine that's entering into dangerous territory, but gotta save her.
I think that one of the creatures
That'll be impressed.
a swipe at you as you move past. That is a 21 versus armor class. So as you move
It
past
hits.
the warrior squared up against Leonora, it slices at you, and you can feel your wooden body sort of carved through the chest, and you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
That is your Cure Wounds. What does it look like as you cast Cure Wounds? And make sure you roll plus your modifier to the healing.
Okay.
This is our first
5.
combat, guys. This is great.
So that's 5 points of healing. What it
5
looks
points of
like
healing.
is I essentially just like, like a glow from my finger, like almost like little lightning, just like pierces down, just like, like it stitches back together the lanced wound to like kind of cauterizing it as it goes. It'll leave a scar, but the damage should be prevented. Like they should be stable from this.
As you do so, Silver, you hear in your ear, and you look and you can see the little pale golden kitten Noon nuzzling up against you in gratitude.
Yeah, just turn around and be like, I prefer midnight.
Brian, I think that based on Leonora and Etienne's reaction, I think that you could inspire your sisters here. So would you be comfortable rolling a performance check for me to see if you can actually give them a bonus on their later attacks?
Probably not. The 14. So it's a 14. So I think what I'd more than likely do is just like, standing up and being like, and she's saved! You're fucking welcome! And it's just like, I'm not a part of the combat.
And several of the goblins turn towards you. And you watch as one person in the background goes, "Oh, good job.
Thank you."
At this point, however, with a 14, it's actually enough to give, so both Katie and Rachel, you both have on your next attack roll, just the roll, not the damage, you have an additional D4. So nicely done, Silver. Great turn. So Aetiyen and Leonora, who wants to go next?
Leonora should go next.
So Leonora turns to Silver and is like, in a moment, because she didn't expect him to actually like power slide in and save the barkeep, she kind of thought he'd keep hiding in the back. So she very begrudgingly, like, just gives him a like little head nod, like a well fucking done.
Lenora's still in rage, right?
Yeah.
I understand my sister very well. I'd be like, the kitten likes me more than you.
Leonora was
This is the inspiration.
She was kind of impressed for 1 second. She was like, do you know what? Maybe Silver isn't such a piece of shit all the time.
I thought Aetiyen was supposed to be good with animals. This is so fucking easy. Just
and then
shitting
he
on your
says that,
sorcery.
and she's like, never fucking mind. And
no, I can take over animals. I'm not good with them.
What you got, Leonora? What you got?
That underboss is cruising for a bruising, and
Yep.
she's determined to kill it. Sorry,
Okay.
my laptop's going to shake because it's on my lap.
You're good.
1 second. So I get plus D4, right? Okay, so that's... Oh! She rolled a 19!
It's definitely.
And then that's a 3. So I think does 21 hit? Does 21?
I think it does.
Do you think it hits? Do you think it hits?
Go ahead and roll.
22.
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck is 19 plus 3 21?
Oh wait.
Lenora,
I'm role playing.
You leave her alone, Silver.
Okay, I only rolled a 1 on damage, so that's not so good. But I get 3 and then plus 2 because I'm raging, so 6. 6 points.
Rachel, what's your fighting style as a barbarian? Did you pick great weapons or did you pick sword and shield? What did you pick?
I've got a big fuck off great axe.
You can re-roll 1s and 2s on your damage roll.
Oh fuck yeah! Okay.
I think barbarians get a fighting style. If I'm wrong, we shall correct it next time.
Okay, it's 2. I did so much better.
shit. So that's 7 points.
You're so shit.
Alas, Leonora, it would be 7 points, but he goes, try again. Grabs his lackey, holds it in front, and you part the lackey down the middle, spilling its goblin guts. He tosses the remnants aside and says, can't wait to tell Queen Bargnut about you three.
Tell her about these nuts.
Rachel, I've already given you inspiration. I can't give you more. So at this point,
She just swallowed it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Is another
I
goblin.
want to melt this guy's brain like completely. Hey, so I have like a spell attack bonus. Was I supposed to add that last time? Because that should have been 20 then instead of 15.
Don't worry, Katie. With a lot of spells, it does not include that bonus. But,
okay, cool.
It's just a dice roll.
Okay. I'm gonna cast my little spell again because
Dissonant Whispers again.
Fuck yeah, dude!
God.
It had amazing effect last time. This time I want to make his brains like bleed out of his ears, not just some fucking blood. Screw
Katie,
this
I
dude.
rolled a 17 on the dice, so if that's going to succeed your save, do I still take half damage on a?
Yes,
on a
you do. You still take. Wait a second. Let me double check. On a save, you still take half damage.
Nice.
And don't have to move away.
Would you prefer to roll your 4d6 and halve it, or would you like to roll 2d6 and just give the full amount?
Let's roll 4 and halve it.
Hell yeah.
I feel like that's better. And then plus I get the d4 because brother gave me like a boost, remember?
It's not to damage, unfortunately.
Oh, isn't it? Okay, that doesn't matter.
However, he is looking for... Yeah?
16, 19... Yeah, 19. So 9, right?
That is incredible. He is still alive, but just barely. What's happening to him?
The blood. Like some of his brains are starting to like trickle out of his ears and a little bit out of his nose, and there's definitely some like nice compression in there where like the skull is starting to like as if it's been like sucked from the inside, you know.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, I think the reaction to that is that his speech is beginning to slur. So I think he would look at you.
I'd say it's a little bit more than beginning to slur.
Yeah, 100. You're totally right. He goes, you watch as something bilges up from deep inside him, his crushed brain sending frantic electrical signals to his body. He's disgorging, and you watch as one of the cats leaps across his shoulders, nips a little bit, biting into his neck, and then jumps down. And you can see that where she is next to you, Silver, Tattlemire Billy Bugshar, her eyelids flutter for a second as she sees little Midnight fight back for himself a little, and she goes, and I think she is about to say something and then lapses back into unconsciousness. Good God. At this point, it's the enemy's turn, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, but I really think the dude with the hulking, the big werebear should, be like smacking some shit right now.
Oh, for sure. But it is heroes,
Ernie,
goblins, allies.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he will go after. But yes, he will be doing some stuff. However,
it will be the bare necessities that he will be doing.
Yes. Now, this time, the bare necessities.
Yeah, forget about your worries and your strife. It's Ernie.
But this time, Silly Boy was really obvious about his involvement in the fight by sliding across the floor. You see, I still haven't moved. So
it's true. However, I do think Dissonant Whispers, one thing I have remembered is I do think it requires verbal components. So the goblins have seen you chanting at their leader.
Oh, yeah. I whisper, though. It's a whisper.
Get fucked.
Alas, Katie, without subtle spell, your voice does not carry quite sotto voce, and thus
She's with us. She's with us.
At this point, Greshk, the goblin boss, the underboss, Greshk, is going to use his bonus action. He can do this, I think, once per fight. Get reckless. You lot, take these wooden bastards out. Oh. All of the goblins who can hear the underboss become reckless, giving them advantage on their attack rolls, just as Rachel has as a barbarian. So I'm going to be making my rolls with advantage. Here we go. So I still have 7 lackeys. As one of them moves away from you, Leonora, you get an opportunity attack to see if you can kill this creature.
Okay, good luck.
It's
I was encouraging
D20.
you.
Yes, D20. I'm going to roll attack rolls in the meantime against the rest of you.
Oh, 9?
9 against this creature. Alas, I do not think hits. Let me check.
No. Probably not.
Alas, it misses. The creature turns around and goes and launches towards Silver. Silver, 2 of them attack you with my lowest roll there is a 17. However, only dealing 2 points of damage.
Each.
Yes.
Is it? So
Yes.
4.
One thing that I forgot is their tiny stab feature. So, Rachel, could Leonora make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. What was that on the-
Also, Aetiyen, what's that AC?
13.
That is 2 hits, one of them being a crit. So that's 3 points of damage against you. Not so bad. The warrior is going to attack.
Sorry. Oh,
Yeah,
Jim.
what do you got, Rachel?
I was going to ask, how does it work for dexterity saving throws? Is it a d20 plus my proficiency in dexterity, or?
If you're proficient in dexterity saving throws, I think as a barbarian you are, so you can add
I've
the
got a +2 to dexterity overall, but I don't know what the...
it should say within your there's a little box that says proficiency modifier. Let's add it for now, and if it turns out not to be the case, we can change it later. So you can add that.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I see it. It is +2. Sorry, it is +2.
Okay, so that's 12 altogether.
7, 8, 9 only.
Alas, all of the goblins are able to stab you for 1 damage each, negating your rage. So you take 7 points.
Oh shit, man.
But didn't one of them get me?
It's their tiny stabs feature because they started their turn around Rachel. They each get a quick little stab. That's why they do such low damage, because they've got these little crafty techniques. Against you, Aetiyen, they only do the 3 points of damage. The warrior, however, Aetiyen, is actually going to miss you. As the creature launches towards you, Aetiyen, you're able to dodge it fabulously. However, the underboss,
I do have good dexterity.
absolutely fabulous, is going to target. He actually, in his fugue, he doesn't realize that it's you, Aetiyen. What he realizes is that Silver has undone his handiwork. So Silver, 2 strikes will come towards you, I'm afraid. My friend, I do not roll below a 16. You will take 12 points of slashing damage.
I'm down.
You watch as Silver is grabbed and the sword slices once and a second time, and there's this awful timber moment where his wooden frame collapses to the side. Do you say anything as you go down? Do you say anything as you go down?
Oh, fuck's sake, Leonora, just kill them.
He is unconscious, alas, and upstairs, curled up in his bed underneath a blanket, Geppetto's eyes open, and he says your name, Silver.
Oh, fuck. That's what he
At this point, it is...
More like silvered.
It is Ernest. Ernest is going to approach the remaining goblin warrior. Hey, pal, can your mother stitch, pal? Get her to sew this. And he rips the goblin's head clean off. It is the creature's stump spurts blood, and you watch as, like a kind of war paint, it splashes upon the bear's face, the werebear's face, and he turns around and says, "Who's next?" You watch as that figure in the cloak says, "I do believe it shall be me," and slices forward with the rapier and kills another goblin lackey with a 17. And you watch as she takes down her hood, what looks like an older woman, definitely human, tall and with very fox-like features, nice, sharp, defined features, yet the darkest of brown eyes, woodland eyes, looks towards you. Maybe there's a little fey in her blood. And Ernie turns around and says, "Thanks, Mistress Mayor." This is Aliforna Upsize, the mayor of the little town of Calamny, coming to the aid of its civilians. That is the end of your allies' turn. My friends, you are back up. You have currently facing no warriors, just the underboss and 5 lackeys remain.
Am I able to...
sorry. So, I need to get Silver to make a death save, however.
Okay.
Don't fuck it up.
You got it.
Yeah.
Where are my fucking saves?
Oh, death saves is just a straight D20.
Okay, gotcha.
You got this.
Natural 20.
Are you serious?
I was like, what does the B mean? On the dice?
Almost at the precise instant that Silver, your name is uttered, you hear your father's voice in your head. And you are back up. Brian, a natural 20 doesn't just mean you regain a hit point. It means you have your full turn.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I am so fucking extra that I'm like literally being like, it's just like, not a single fucking tear, Lenora.
Is your name
a single tear. And
is your name Jason?
So, gang, whoever wishes to go can go. You have the full party.
So Silver hops up, is like, not a single fucking tear, Leonora.
Psych.
And she turns around, she's like, took you long enough.
Oh, was I going to heal you? Catapult. I just like, yeah, enjoy getting fucking stabbed, bitch. So I
think Silver should go first. With that in mind.
I am fucking going first. I'm enraged. I'm showing you what rage is supposed to fucking look like. I might just hit them. Actually, I might not. What's my plus? So +5. So
your tank is on 10 hit points, by the way. I need to let you know this.
That's nice. I was on 10 hit points and then I died. So
I've got 9.
But so it's 18 to hit, okay?
Yes, it is. Brian, go ahead and add an additional D6 points of damage. We have from Doug Losa a comment earlier. My name is Shut Up Silver.
I love that one so much.
I already got additional damage.
Okay. So
thanks, Doug.
His name is Shut Up Silver because that's what his dad wishes for him.
18 plus 2, so 20 points of damage.
Is this so? Who are you targeting again?
So, are the underbosses still around?
Yes,
he's still alive.
He's got like 2 hit points or something.
Yeah, he's looking rough. Are you targeting him?
Yes. So I'm taking like the wooden lacquer that was literally put out for me, and I'm like, goodbye, pristine, and just literally launch it so that it fucking hits the face and explodes in like polish.
And it does explode against one of his goblin lackeys as he uses Cowardly Commander to keep himself alive. You're gonna have to do better than that, you bastard.
Oh, so like, fucking hell. With the remainder of my turn, I just kind of like, and then just like sit down with my back to the bar, just kind of like looking at all of the alcohol and being like, are they weak to anything here? like, let's figure this one out. So that's where I'm at.
100%. And I think you still have Noon in your company, the little pale gold kitten. So Aetiyen or Leonora?
How many hit points do those little lackeys have?
They are minions, KT. So they you need to do a certain amount of damage to them for them to instantly die. But they actually, for purposes of argument, have like not 1 hit point or the number that they have. Minions are, do you see what I mean? All or nothing.
Am I able to use my spell again?
Dissonant Whispers? How many spell slots do you have left?
Well, I have 3 spell slots. So
then you can absolutely use it once more.
Yeah, so let's do that.
Oh god, yes. So I'll make a saving throw. That is a 16, so he will only take half damage. Perhaps it will be enough. However, let's go ahead and add an additional D6 to it, KT, from Facebook user. Murder is the best team building.
Okay, here we go. 5 D6s. Okay.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh god, I have to add 19, 20. So 10.
KT, what does it look like for Aetiyen and the rest of the bar? when you kill the goblin on the
Oh,
boss?
well, his head's just going to like explode. And everything's just going to go.
I think he locks eyes with you beforehand and says, "It's you. You've been doing this to me."
Yep. It was me.
Duh.
Oh, me. Took you fucking long enough.
Queen Bagnot's gonna. You watch as the head explodes, smash pumpkin off a bridge as it detonates, gobbeting everyone in the bar with gore. That is the end
I
of
have a
your
cloak.
turn, Aetiyen, and a hell of a kill. At this point, it is. I love the hood up in triumph. Yeah. That's puppet thug life. Leonora, what would you like to do? You still have 4 goblin lackeys in the space, although they are shrieking with fright at what happened to their underboss.
I have 3 rage in before a long rest, right?
3 rage. Oh, Rachel, you've only used 1 rage. It goes on and on. It lasts for a minute.
I thought because I thought they broke me out of rage during their last tiny stabbings.
Impossible to break a barbarian out of rage. Barbarian breaks themselves out of rage by failing to attack or receive damage.
You're attacking, just not very well, but you're attacking.
Okay, so how about you shut the fuck up for 2 fucking seconds? She goes in. In she fucking goes. She picks the one closest to her.
I think for this,
Can I
yeah.
pick up?
Yeah.
Can I pick up one of them and throw it at the other one?
Rachel, you read my goddamn mind. I was going to say
As
that
an improvised weapon, right?
because these are minions, right? They've got very low hit points. So I think for the purposes of this, because I've given the other 2 extra damage, I think I'm going to give you the ability temporarily to commit a multi-attack, thanks to Andrea, who commented, "That goblin painting was fucking shifty. Nailed it." So yes,
Andy, thank you.
You can make 2 attack rolls.
Andy is narrating Knights of Eternity Book 1. You can watch her on Discord. Thank you. I can make 2 attacks.
Listen to
Okay,
that.
here we go.
Listen.
Oh, 10. Wait, plus. Sorry, I'm going to get my +2 to my damage. So it's 10.
Did you add your strength and proficiency modifier? Because you're always adding those to the dice roll.
Have I not been adding my proficiency this entire fucking time?
Aetiyen
am I
is the mind
supposed to do
reader.
that? Probably not, because sometimes, Lenora love, sometimes I think you just get stuck in the moment, and that's okay.
Rather than the enemy.
Because we love you.
Yes,
I've been just doing my base rolls this whole time.
So it should always be, when you're making an attack roll as a barbarian, it's your strength plus your proficiency.
Oh, it's my strength plus my proficiency. If it's my strength plus my strength proficiency is +5.
Then that's what you add to your attack rolls.
Oh,
You are such a dumb bitch. I love it.
Dreadful, Brian. Dreadful.
Oh,
I have not played D&D tabletop in about 4 years. Shut the fuck
the
up.
pointy
you
side
got this.
goes into them? Oh.
Okay.
What are you? And we're here. We're here in the inn. We're here in the Stout Fox Inn. Leonora's about to commit some serious.
Okay. 15. I should have hit every single time so far.
It hits.
15.
And your second attack roll?
Oh.
Make sure to add the proficiency.
17, bitch.
Well done. That is 2 hits. Go ahead. And actually, depending on your damage here, you could kill both. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. 10 plus 2. So 12.
Oh God, that is enough. You watch as I think. Actually, sorry, you got to give this to me, Rachel. How does Leonora kill 2 goblins with a goblin?
She grabs one by the arm. She swings it above her head. Right?
Awesome, yeah.
And then, in one fell swoop, as if she was chopping wood at the back of Geppetto's farm, she swings it above her head and brings it down with every ounce of her strength on top of a second goblin, so that the 2 of them briefly fuse into one meaty slab of goblin flesh.
Before they liquefy.
It's just incredible. It's just incredible. As you execute this phenomenal maneuver, the 2 goblins, as the heroes end their turn, those two remaining lackeys shriek and make a dash for the door.
Can I catch him?
I think that as the two of them are running, I think that the Leonora is huge, so she would be able to make an opportunity attack. And I think Silver's behind the bar too far. I think, Aetiyen, do you have a staff or anything like that? A
I have
physical
a
weapon?
staff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can also make a physical opportunity attack. And if both of you hit, you'll kill these
12
these
with my proficiency.
12 is a miss.
Yeah.
Aetiyen?
What do I do?
For a staff-based weapon, I believe it's a strength check. So what's your strength modifier?
-1.
It's a D20 +1 because technically
I also have Mind Sliver, which is a cantrip.
cantrips can't be used as opportunity attacks unless you have the feature.
Oh, okay. Then I can just smack the crap out of him with the staff, right?
Yes, Brian, were you going to jump in?
No, I
there?
was thinking, I was like, silvery barbs?
Yeah.
I'll find a use. Or
Yeah.
I do have Vicious Mockery as a cantrip because of Strixhaven. So
I think, Brian, go ahead and cast that.
okay. Just literally just like peeking my head up
And-
behind the bar and be like, don't come back, you filthy animals.
Do
And then
I
looking
just
at the bear and the fox lady, be like, no, sorry, as in filthy goblins.
Yes, yes.
And then just like slinking back down.
Yeah. As you do, incredible. As you do so, so Katie, it's a D20 +1 because you're proficient in stats.
It's a 4.
And what did you get on your vicious mockery? I think it's a save, isn't it?
Yes, wisdom. I got a 4. It's 1d4.
I get a 15 on my wisdom saving throw. Is that
yeah, you need a 13, so yeah, you succeed.
Both of the goblin lackeys flee out into the summer dark.
As you would.
And you know what? Hoo, hoo. Like this little fucking owl. Be like, got him!
I know, Silver. I know he found them. It wasn't the smartest owl, okay?
Just
Give it a
trample on the
fucking
squirrel as they leave.
You all
The
watch
squirrel's dead,
as
mate. The owl ate it.
everyone gathers around. Some people, the inn goes wild with applause and whispers and exchanges of gossip and the sense of, and people also grabbing for their for those sacks that the goblins were gathering their precious little money within and recovering their stuff, and some little arguments breaking out. Yeah.
Can I grab the coin, the bunch of coin that they left behind? And I want there to be a brief moment in which people are like, "Oh fuck, are the weird wooden puppets gonna take the money?"
Yeah. And one person
Was
kind
there
of looks
more
around and
than
goes,
one bag?
yeah, I think I like they were in separate bags, but I do like the idea that Leonora, in one huge swoop of the arm, gathers them up into a big bundle. And then what, Rachel?
And then she's like, "All right, line up. You tell me what you gave, and if you fucking lie, I'll know it."
Make an intimidation check.
Oh yeah. What's my intimidation? Oh, +3. Yeah, okay.
Can I
Another
assist her on
12.
that intimidation? Be like, you do not want to fuck with Lenora.
Yeah, you can take
I
advantage.
could persuade them.
So I got 14. That's including my +3
Yes,
on the first one.
it's good.
17 on the second. So dirty 20.
You watch as some of them exchange little looks, one or two of them looking a little sullen, others nodding their heads approvingly. You hear two older gentlemen, "Oh, that wooden woman's got a fair mind. Oh, she does, and she's dealing out the gold." Oh. As the two of them head up towards you, one of them says, "You're a fine young lass."
I'm a fucking deadly young lass. Remember that. Now, how much
But-
did you give? And she starts.
What I love about this is that we've already clarified in this that she can't count.
So several people leave with vastly larger sums. In fact, Leonora, as you look to your own gold pouch after everyone is gone, you realize that you gave your own gold away. So go ahead and mark that you have 7 silvers remaining.
You know what? She's okay with this. Because she knows Dad would be proud of her.
Yeah,
She's
however,
fucking okay with this.
Rachel, because of your commitment to Leonora's character, I think you have inspiration. So that is anytime you'd like to give yourself or someone else in the party advantage on a roll, you can do that with this inspiration. It's for sticking to your character. Oh,
You're muted, which is also sticking to your character.
Imagine it crossed your soul, Brian. Just roll with that.
Oh.
Silver, next to you, you hear, what happened?
I don't mean to dramatize this enough, but you're safe now. That's all that matters.
I
Lenora broke the fucking table I spent so long mending. I'm so sorry.
Is this the part where you tell me that I've got to come with you if I want to live?
No, but I'll take midnight if it's, up for bargain.
You see the cat jump over to her and says, sorry about the table.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. I'm sorry, not midnight. Oh, damn it. Tatlamar, Billy Buckshark. At this point, you see that the figure, the older, sharper-faced woman, ties up her iron grey hair in a bun and begins to set things right, sliding away her rapier first. A dreadful spot of bother, Everall. But we got through it, it seems. Well done. And if I might have a word with the three of you afterwards, find me at my table in the corner. For the meantime, Tetelma, I shall get you on your feet. Oh, thanks, Mayoress. You're wonderful. And if you're going to say the line, the women in my family, we upsize absolutely everything. Yeah, knew you were going to say the line, right? Including this situation. Yep, knew you were going to do it. You see that she holds her up, lifts her up, and she says, mostly our noses into other people's business. I'm Alefona, and it is a pleasure to meet you. Again, my table, when you're ready. As she heads over, leading Tetelmar towards a few people to fuss over her. The two kittens forming a kind of a wonderful figure eight around their mistress's legs, a sort of loving thing that cats and kittens do. And Ernie headed over to Leonora, Ernest Jamhorn, back into his human form. That was real good.
You're mute.
Yeah, I was making sure. I was like, Ernie, that was pretty fucking cool.
Oh, that ain't my name, Leonora. My name is Next Round.
Daps.
Yeah.
Just like that's a wonderful coincidence because she's fucking broke. Go on, tell him how you lost all your fucking money.
You see, Ernie, I'm a generous soul.
He says,
She fully meant to give that money away because it was out of the kindness of her heart.
On purpose.
Completely and utterly. Yep.
You can see the three tieflings, Bacon, Bagley, and Backer, headed over to the goblins, and they seem to be taking turns kicking the underboss's blown head cadaver as they sort of
cadaver.
whisper.
There is no head.
That's true. Exactly the blasted skull. At this point, the three tieflings are talking to one another. They seem to be talking about the fact that there's going to be a lot of this on the road to Geste Lipo, the city, and they seem to be kind of pushing things back and forth. They seem to be talking about Rumpelstiltskin and whether Ernie Jamhorn was being straight up with them or not. I believe him. Do you? No, I don't believe him. Don't be stupid. At this point, you can also see that the mayoress takes her seat over in the corner, awaiting your arrival. And aside from that, the only thing that happens then is Geppetto, who arrives down into the scene of mayhem. He can't run very fast at all. The poor guy is stricken with rheumatism.
Arthritis.
Yeah, his poor arthritic knees all swollen as well. And as he toddles, but it doesn't matter. He does hurry as quickly as he can towards Silver. My boy, My poor boy, something happened. I felt it. I felt your pain. Are you all right?
Don't worry, Father. I'm safe. No thanks
It's
to
okay.
those 2 fucking bitches that did absolutely nothing to prevent it. But your
Um,
words reached me. Thank you.
Silver, do you use the phrase that you just used?
No,
Yeah, no, I got you. I think although Brian, we got to commit to it. I think
as in,
Geppetto would actually take your hand and would give it a little squeeze and a warning look in his eyes, and he says, "You treat your sisters with respect because they respect you, really. And I love you, but don't challenge that love."
In the background, Leonora is going,
And he turns around and says, "Leonora."
fuck.
uh,
I am just dismissing my owl and saying goodbye and telling him that it was fucking useless. Thanks for
Yeah.
nothing.
I think Geppetto would actually go to you, Aetiyen, and he moves over, checking that with a final touch on both Silver and Leonora's shoulders. He comes over to you, and as everyone is cleaning up, you know that little sort of background murmur of conversation as things are being set right, the schools are being replaced, the bodies are being cleaned up. That sort of as a background, Geppetto approaches and says, "Aetiyen, what happened here? Are these goblins?"
Yes,
Where
they're
goblins?
goblins. And they shut the fuck up, brother. Anyway, these are goblins, and they decided to come and rob these people. They robbed them, Father. Daddy, they robbed them, and it was not right. And they tried to hurt the kittens.
Not the kittens.
Yes, the kittens. He was going to eat one.
I hope you
We couldn't let him eat the kittens.
Yes, I hope you
Well,
took care of him.
I may have exploded his head just a little bit.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, that explains the mess.
Yeah,
It looks like somebody broke a jam jar in here, and you hear,
yeah.
"Hey, no, not you, Mr. Jamhorn. Thank you. Thank you. No."
Yeah, it got a little messy, but I think it was effective. I mean, overall, it was pretty. But my owl that was scouting for me was fucking useless, Dad. Like,
Well, thank goodness that you, my wonderful daughter, were not.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too. And tell me, where did these goblins come from?
Well, I don't have ESP, Dad. I don't know that.
Oh, we must find out. We must find out if they are behind the destruction of the crossing, and if so, where we might go next.
Aetiyen found their camp earlier, I
did?
believe. Yes, yes.
No,
The owl
didn't.
found
It
it.
was the sign, you
Oh,
imbecile.
sorry. I forgot that it's an incredibly stupid and useless and unreliable ability. I forgot
It's
about that.
all.
Never
Well,
mind.
you try talking to a squirrel. You have
I'm
trouble enough talking
I'm sorry,
to
I
other
was
people.
busy saving the innkeeper's life.
Well,
Do you
yeah,
remember
that's
the
fine.
power
I
slide?
was busy exploding the head of the dude who was trying to kill us all.
So Leonora takes one hand, she slaps it on Silver's shoulder,
Yes.
she leans in and she says, "Shut the fuck up. You did a good fucking job. Accept the compliment and let's go talk to the fucking mayor."
All of this fighting could have been avoided if you had just handed over your money like you just did.
She walks off. She just walks off. She's like, "I fucking try. I fucking try.
Silver.
And why do I
that
bother?
Also,
I don't know."
you would have had to hand your money over too. See, and you're the stingiest bastard I've ever met. So
How dare you?
you didn't give me your passion fruit. You're not like Lenora. She follows Lenora.
The
to the
kittens
mayor's
prefer
table.
me get fucked. Anyway,
You see, as the three of you head off towards the mayor, Geppetto says, "What the hell just happened?" As the three of you, you make your way over towards the mayor. Geppetto, I think, will he'll see Tetelmar, and I think the two of them had gotten to talking earlier, and they'd gotten on reasonably well. She is terribly amiable, so I think Geppetto will go over to her, seeing her hurt, and says, "Tetelmar, you're hurt," and heads over, and one of the kittens pads daintily onto his arm. He says, "Oh my good gracious. Oh my goodness. Oh my. And as at this point, you head over to speak to Mayoress Aliforna Upsize.
please don't dab. Lenora, please don't dab.
As you sit down with the mayoress, what would you like to say to her? She seems to be appraising the three of you.
I'm sorry we couldn't have been more help.
Hi. So, what took you so fucking long?
So she hears both of those. I think she ignores Aetiyen and I think speaks to Silver and says,
And in the background, you just see.
yes. She says, three wooden people walk in the company of a rangy old man, and the three of them turn out to be terribly formidable fighters. I was once rather formidable myself, though, as you can see, it was a long time ago. My golden
That's
years.
true.
Oh, I see.
A little
I see.
grey.
We're
Little
doing
grey
that.
around the edges.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, you're made of literal wood. And at this point, she says, she
Splinter.
she says, well, as the mayoress of this town, you can clearly see our plight. I am hoping to wrangle the three of you to assist our town. I don't expect you to do it for nothing. I intend to reward you. You see, in my younger years, I was a member of Jack's band. You've heard
Was
of
that a really long time ago?
she says, shut up. It was not very long ago at all. It was only a few scant years. And I was in the service, the friendship, shall we say, of Jack himself. You've heard of the giant slayer.
But was it service or friendship? There's a difference? Or was it both?
I see.
I love that Aetiyen has chosen violence today. We have
Aetiyen?
only just survived. Even Lenora is like, Aetiyen, calm down.
Like,
Even
go talk to a fucking owl or something, okay? I think there's some fucking garden worms out there that are just crying out for you to be their fucking friend, okay? Adults are talking here.
She says, what do you know about the Muffin Man, Don Bartolo?
he lives on Drury Lane.
Incorrect, wrong. I
And
don't know
his
why you
bridge,
even guessed that. How silly.
his beautiful bridge just got destroyed. And I mean, but doing that to gingerbread, it's just,
I know.
it's wrong.
A crime against caloric intake, indeed. She says, the crossing, the calumny crossing, my sweet crossing, that established a link between us and the north over the Baker's Fork, was destroyed by Queen Bargnot, that most wretched of creatures. Not only that,
We got the sign for you, though. It's done.
she says, it's difficult to speak cogently with you constantly interrupting. She says, here is the thing. The goblins slunk in, slaughtered sweet Don Bartolo of his magnificent moustache. Oh, smirched it with his own blood, dyed it as if it were, red velvet cake, that most dreadful of desserts. But with blood, of course, he was dead. And as they killed him, slaughtered sweet Don Bartolo, the Muffin Man, they laid claim to Castle Sweets. Castle Sweets, which is the only crossing now over the river, which has been renamed by Queen Bargnot. No longer the Baker's Fork, but the Green Fork.
They're not very good at naming things.
Indeed, yes, extremely unimaginative, the fools. Very good at killing, though, alas. She says, Castle Sweets is now in the possession of Queen Bargnot. And not only that, but her underbosses and her war spider. A great arachnid, a terrible creature upon which many of the goblins can ride. It is a most formidable siege weapon, a creature of dread chaos, just like Bargnot herself. She says, I'm hoping that you three will end Queen Bargnot's reign. I have certain incentives, not just the goodness of your Maplewood hearts. I will provide you with the treasures that I gathered during my time with Jack's troop. The giant slayer himself looked upon my assortment and said, "Oh, that's a very nice assortment." And I said, "Oh, thank you, Jack." So you see, it's very good. And I will be willing to part with it should Bargnot be killed. What say you?
Sorry, I just want to say, breaking character, I love how the mayor sounds just like you, Jack, when you're pleased with yourself.
Oh, there's the wine. So,
And in real life, the Fable Master dislikes that as a bonus action.
Okay, wrong glass. So I started with, you remember I had a full bottle at the beginning of this? I'm going to show you the bottle. Are you all ready?
I'm ready.
oh, Rosé, you
Very good.
absolute minx.
Brian.
So to get back into character,
Yes, we're here.
think-
We're here. We're with the mayor.
we're here. Leonora would hear all this and she would be extremely gung-ho. She wants to get in there. She wants to fuck shit up. But she pops over to Geppetto first. And she kind of leans down and she whispers very quietly in his ear. She explains what's happened. She explains the offer. And she says, "I'd like to do this, Dad, but what do you reckon?"
Leonora, you make me very proud. He says, "Not only do you ask your father for advice, but you know in your heart that he will agree with you. Leonora, I will offer only one piece of advice. The mayoress describes a frightening situation at Castle Suites. We must have every advantage. Thus, I would advise you to gauge the land around us, gain any advantage that we can. If this war spider can be dealt with, if anything can be brought to bear with us, you must have an arsenal of information. And he taps your temple, my brilliant girl."
She's incredibly happy. And she would lean in and she'd say, "Dad, don't worry. We'll scout the place out and I'll look after Aetiyen and Silver. Don't you worry." And she hops
are
over
a
back
wonder.
to Mayor.
I will stay here in the meantime. And Tattlemar says, "There's a place for you here, Geppetto." "Oh, I'm very glad. Can I do anything to help? Just be your charming self." "Oh, my goodness. Well, goodness gracious." And the two cats go over him and he goes, "Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness." So at this point, you guys are back with the mayor now. Aetiyen and Silver, what have you said in the meantime while she was doing this?
I'm trying to figure out if I can talk to the spider mount and get it to move away with the goblins, because it's technically an animal. I
Terrifying.
should be able to control it briefly for like a couple of minutes.
And
That'd help.
I'm there being like, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think you should go there right now. Maybe it
Yeah,
has
but
some
I
fucking
wanted-
passion for it.
I'll send it to visit you, and it can give you a hug when I let it go.
Oh, well, I do have a thing with animals. Cats love me.
The mayoress says, "Wouldn't people also argue, learning something new every day?" At this point, we can discuss perhaps the particulars. Do you wish to know anything else at this point, Leonora?
Yeah,
or
so
Razak?
like what are you said rewards? Do you have like details?
I can provide, thanks to my exploits that were only a few years ago, only a few short years ago. Weapons, armor, little trinkets, and some of them are magical.
So, from my
So
own
I
view-
rolled
Okay.
because
Oh.
I wanted to see if I could intimidate her into telling us every single thing she would give us, like listing it. Yeah, I rolled 3, so that's a 6 in total.
So, Leonora, what do you
Leonora
do?
kind of goes, "Tell us everything you are gonna give us."
Once more? What?
Nothing.
Can I persuade
I just
Mayor
I
that-
I just rolled for persuasion.
Brian, you can also roll.
Well, I rolled a 19 and I have a +5, so that's 24.
That's good. Are you just hoping to find out more information?
Yeah, I want to know more information
Convince
about
us-
what we're going
convince
to
her to
get
give
and
us
what we have to
everything.
do. Yeah,
Convince her to give
like
us everything.
So,
Yeah, we want-
Katie, I couldn't
I
quite
want to
hear
know about what the rewards are, dude. Because is it going to be fucking worth it going there and risking our lives?
Yeah, I think
If the reward isn't worth it.
I think this isn't a persuasion check necessarily because she's said what she has to say about the rewards. I think it's an insight check to find out if she's telling the truth. And
Then it's only 22.
Dear God, the 22 is very good, and will tell you. Okay, it'll tell you this. While she's being hyperbolic, this woman seems prone to that. She was not lying when she said that some elements of her arsenal are magic. So you think that you would be able to pillage potentially something that might be invaluable from this. In other words, whether it be a piece of armor, a weapon, or a trinket of some kind imbued with magic, this is very rare and very potent, and she is willing to part with it. She actually, you think with a 22, this is a woman who, despite her frippery and like enormous pomposity, she actually really cares about her town. She's willing to fight for it. And while she's going to stay here and protect the fort, she's desperate for someone of the three of your skill to take care of Queen Bargnot, who's been a plague on this place. And Brian?
So, as you saw, most embarrassingly, I fell in battle just now, and against a ragtag group of goblins at that. What you're proposing right now is many multitudes more dangerous and terrifying. And the stakes are so much higher than people, just goblins coming in here to take money from, your wonderful people. My question is, do you have the authority within you to allow us to enlist others to this cause, that we would be able to bring them with it? Maybe Ernie, maybe other people, like, I know that you need to man the fort yourself, but is there anything you could give us with your authority as mayor that would enable us to have a greater chance of success?
You see she opens her mouth and is about to speak when she goes, what are you doing? What? Leonora, as part of your failed intimidation check, you did try to butt your chest Red Robin style into the mayor and are just kind of gently going back and forth with the mayor. What are you doing? What? Yes, I can do that. Yes, it certainly is possible for me to exercise my authority. You are employing flattery, that most wonderful spice to add to any dish of conversation. Yes, could you control
Lenora, come back, honey. Honey, come here. It's okay.
You did good.
She said, she looks over at you and leans over Silver and says, I don't know about you, but that was terribly intimidating.
Please never tell her that.
Your discretion. She says, I could speak to Ernest Jamhorn, although the man is a law unto himself. What a burly rogue. Something of...
I think Lenora might have our best chance at speaking to Ernie.
Perhaps, yes. I could also speak to our blacksmith, Bo Peep.
I'm on board. I am just a humble artificer and still learning my craft. I would absolutely love to see...
He's really still learning his craft.
I see. Just a novice, just a loser novice.
The best I can do is tables, and you see where that fucking gets me.
Oh, but and what a fragile table it was, couldn't even bear the weight of another wooden object.
That hurts.
She touches your hand and says, I joke, of course, tee.
Leonora would lean over to Aetiyen and goes, how much do you want to bet he's going to try and hit on Bo Peep and it's going to go horribly wrong?
Oh, yes. I'm not putting money on it because
why would you put money on a guarantee? That's true.
Right. Yeah.
No, you should absolutely take the bet for money. She won't be able to fucking count the proceeds. It'll be fine. Did I win? Did I lose? Can I just give you the rest? Okay. So yes. Artificing for dummies.
She takes out a little tiny scroll of vellum and says, here's one I made earlier. Snaps it, draws a little thing on it, and says, present this to Bo Peep. She shall give you everything you need.
Everything.
Amazing. I take the note and just be like, I can be trusted with this, and give Lenora a meaningful glance.
I believe you implicitly.
Oh, we're so screwed.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else, anything else that you might think of that we might be overlooking or anything like this?
Well, there is the haunted woods that you
Oh,
might
great.
potentially wish to go to. Yes, you might have passed it on your way, the Whiteswood. It is said that, I'm sure it's nothing, I'm sure it wouldn't interest you.
No, tell us, please.
Well, there are no, well, look, since you insist. And she says, there are tales that this wood is haunted by the Scryer family. S-C-R-Y-E-R, Scryer, yes, each syllable, each letter, dread imbued. She says, the Scryer family, led by their patriarch, Domnall, or Donal, perhaps, depending on whether you're not from the sticks. She says, his spirit is said to haunt there most abjuratively. Furthermore, she says, it is said that the Scryer family hid other treasures there, tucked like little oddments and dark delights underneath the knapsack of an old and sleeping man that you just take because you can. Not that I would know or have done that.
No.
Which obviously pales in comparison to what you would have garnered from Jack's party.
Yeah. You speak wisely for a wooden man. Perhaps you are carved of wiser wood, oak, or perhaps a kind of birch.
Cool. So I think we've gotten everything that we need here. Thank you so much.
Do we have the exact location?
Of the Whiteswood Castle Suites or the door?
She's
Castle
hardly
Suites.
ESP.
I can't. Dude, I am going to talk to a queen bee. She's going to bring a whole hive and swarm up your ass if you don't stop it.
Oh, and she says, oh, how could I be so forgetful? You're right. Yes, there are other things. Yes, there's one other potential place you might wish to go, although it would be dreadfully dangerous in and of itself. I couldn't possibly tell you about that.
Just tell us, please.
Oh, I shan't.
Oh, come on. You're really wonderful and knowledgeable. Can you just tell us?
Oh, if you insist. It is the old baker Don Bartolo's oven. Alas, without his presence there, it has likely become very untamed. He was murdered, you see, killed by the goblins.
Mm-hmm. Red velvet cake, we got it.
Such a firm...
Oh, would there be any food left in that oven? Or has it been a while?
There may not be fire left. There may not be food left, but there is likely flame. You see, Don Bartolo, as his role in the Muffin Man, he was able to construct an oven that gave off a perpetual flame linked with the elemental plane of fire.
I can throw an oven at people.
Indeed, might also be useful for taking care of the war spider. Or you could head straight to Castle Suites and deal with it on your own devices.
Dude, we could put it down and I could make the war spider walk into the oven.
So are you both maybe forgetting that we're made of wood and our plan involves an oven with an eternal flame?
Silver, are you forgetting that when Dad made us, he did include a spine?
She turns to you, Silver, and says, wrecked. You've been absolutely wrecked.
Well,
Father!
Daddy!
Lenora's being mean to me!
So, gang, we have a series of quests we can go. Let's take a step back from character for a second. You have yeah.
It's too easy. It's too easy. The dynamic is too fun. All right.
Well, with Rachel, with each glass of wine you consume, the easier it gets. As at this point, you have a main quest: defeat Queen Bargnot in Castle Suites, take him down, take down her goblin horde and the war spider. You also have a series of side quests should you wish to embark upon them. You could head to the Whiteswood, you could head to Don Bartolo's oven, or you could do some other thing. You are free to resolve.
Well, logistically, we need to figure out if we could actually get the oven and take it with us, because Lenora's strong, but is she really that strong that she's not going to burn from an oven with a perpetual flame?
Interesting.
Or is this something that we have to lure the war spider to the oven? It depends on where it is, the location in relation to Castle Sweets.
Yeah. How
And
many miles is it from Castle Suites?
yeah,
Asking the mayoress, she will tell you that it is. So if the Whiteswood is a little bit southeast of your location, the oven itself is north of it. So it's actually pretty close to Castle Suites. It's only about a mile.
Because my control thing goes 3 miles.
It's very good. Although I
might,
imagine that if
you
the
know.
creature is hostile, it might be able to resist.
Yeah. So I'd have to hope I could do it, and that's probably going to chase me because that's just how it works.
Who knows?
Aetiyen, you make excellent bait. I believe in you.
I do. I make wondrous
So
bait.
what's in
Like? Oh,
what's
yes.
in the haunted woods? What's
That would be Domno Scryer and his the Scryer family. They there seems to be. She seemed to indicate that they have relics there, where handed down throughout the family of Scryers. That the group. So it's another reward avenue. If you'd like to embark on it as a little tiny side quest, you could potentially gain more rewards, but you might want to divert your attention elsewhere. Time moves in the world. 2 goblins have escaped. Who knows what they have taken to Castle Sweets and Queen Bargnot's ear? Time will pass in the game world, so your decisions do matter.
Yeah.
So-
Here you go.
so I was going to say, what if, because I'm very cognizant of the fact that one of us died, the other got down to less than half health, just with 2 warriors and like 10 little chopstick kind of minions. So we are really not in the best position to be taking on
Yeah.
a queen bee. So part of me would love if it's within the 3-mile radius, if you could leave kind of squirrels along the way, just keep an eye as kind of like an alarm system, so that if we are caught up over in the haunted woods, shut the fuck up, Silver. If we are in the haunted woods and we can kind of get something, we go to Bo Peep first. This is my pitch. This is Leonora's pitch. Bo Peep first, get our gear. Go to the haunted woods, see what we can fuck up there. If we still have time and the goblins haven't invaded the tavern, we then hit up the oven and see if there's some way we could lure the war spider and at least weaken them along the way. That is Leonora's personal pitch, but she is aware there's every chance we won't have the time because 2 have escaped. So we might lose time, we might get invaded, we might prefer a plan of speed. She's very conscious
Yeah.
of.
I'm super worried because I feel like we're gonna we had so much trouble against those that handful of them, and we're no stronger.
It might have been different if our, barbarian knew to add the strength modifier. I don't know if that would have added much. But
She
just a thought.
probably, with how decently Leonora may or may not have rolled every session, she might have hit every single time if she had remembered to add the strength modifier.
And we are back. What would you guys like to? Which avenue would you like to pursue?
Bo Peep.
Bo Peep first.
Okay. Do you wish to rest and take a long rest, or would you like to head right to?
Oh, what
I'd
time is
short
it?
rest. Can we do a short?
You can
are
short
doing
rest to regain hit points, but you will not regain any spent spell slots.
And I have no spell. Actually, I can regain a spell slot because I have sorcery points, but
That
that's
is
only
true.
1 spell slot.
True.
I would
so
short
I need
rest, get
to-
Bo Peep up, and then long rest afterwards once we have an idea of our gear and stuff.
Brian, you feeling good about that too?
Yeah, sure. As in, I'm at full, hit points because I, heard Father's voice and I'm his favorite. So,
okay. As you head out towards the smithy, you can see that the furnace coals have smoldered down to an almost cozy, almost demonic red light that lines and limbs each coal that's broken down into a fine ashy layer of coke underneath. As you approach that furnace, you can see the hunched apish shape of the anvil. You can see various tools spread out. There's a kind of a humble jumble quality to this. It's all sort of helter-skelter and some other portmanteau words. It's all spread out before you. However, of the evidence of the smith, there is none. Bo Peep must have recently gone to sleep. Fuck. Little tiny rounds. But if you wish to summon her, you probably could if you'd like to call out. Do you wish to still do it tonight? Rachel, you're muted, which made that really funny.
Bo Peep! Bo Peep, the mayor sent us!
You hear a fizzle of a match struck, a lantern being held up against the window. The window opens, a shadowy figure looks out, and you hear...
Of course, Bo Peep is a really masculine, muscular person.
Shambling down the stairs, a colossus of muscle, each one like an iron ball stuffed into a sock along her arms. You can see little Bo Peep's hair is a shaggy mane of gold streaked with long black. You can see it just hangs about her shoulders, down past the chin, onto the torso. And you can see that, like, fastening a blacksmith apron around night clothes, Bo Peep says, "Who are you? What do you want? I was sleeping."
We're so sorry to wake you.
Not yet, you're not. But you might.
We just saved the tavern from a goblin attack, and the mayor sent us to see you.
I produced the writ that was given by the mayor and be like, here you are.
You hand her the paper?
I hand her the paper.
The furnace is done for tonight. I do not have need for further kindling.
Okay.
Thank you. That's fine. We can come back tomorrow then.
Goblins attacked the inn.
Yes, the goblins attacked the inn.
They nearly killed noon and midnight, as well as the barkeep.
You watch as the face, crimped in puzzlement and anger, goes slack.
He, she says, like gesturing to Silver, healed up Tettlemeyer Bibleyshire. Billybugshire.
The face go even further slack and then tighten up, reaches over, takes up a hammer the size of one of your bodies. They are still alive.
Two of them are, and are running back.
Yeah.
Only the barkeep. Yeah, Tettlemeyer is absolutely fine. Don't worry. Thanks to Silver.
Thanks to Silver.
Thanks to Silver. Yeah.
And the goblins are dead.
All but two.
Two escaped.
Two tiny little pinpricky henchmen escaped, but we killed their underboss.
You three going to fight them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Soon, yes.
Puts up the hammer, takes up another hammer, grabs the little writ from you. Furnace is not done for tonight. Moves towards the furnace, gets it stoked. Little Bo Peep is ready to. She, as she starts it, she says, "Little Bo Peep lost her sheep. Didn't know where to find him, but found work, and work satisfies."
I'm so glad you like your job.
So, gang, little Bo Peep, do you guys talk to her a little? Oh, sorry.
Can I just be the like leaning on the kind of like the Embry side and be like, oh, that's a little hot. Like it's like, oh, I'm something of a smith myself.
She looks at you and says, "No, keep telling yourself that."
Lenora and Aetiyen give each other a high five because we knew that was coming.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The difference of that, it's a. I think you should actually roll damage, Aetiyen.
Yeah. I think.
Live.
So Silver is incredibly talkative. So I imagine, like, how much of your plan and what's going on do you disclose?
I think that I will disclose far too much. I will tell her literally everything because I'm kind of swooning because this is another crafter, and I'm like, my dad made me. I've I kind of make things too. That I'm actually gonna be making more stuff in the future, and like I see that you make things.
You say my dad made me.
Yeah.
She says, me too, in his balls.
Cool. So there was a little more carving in my process, but
Bit of a workshop.
And she says, me too, my mother, from her womb and her will.
Well, there was a lot of planning involved, but there's nothing plain about me. That's what father says.
That is joke.
Yes, some laugh at those. Cool.
I think Leonora will be in the background and like in her own way she's watching Silver crash and burn, and she was expecting this to happen, but she feels a little bit bad. So she, earnestly trying to help, yells, he fixed the bartender's table.
That the loud cracking sound I hear from inside the inn. That the
Yep.
table.
Now you have more kindling. Yeah, so...
Well, the goblins broke it, technically.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
So little goblin breaking. She as she goes through the process of this, gang, because Silver's telling her everything, she's making some stuff, and as she does, she says, "You are going to the oven."
Yes.
We are.
Maybe
She
also the
stops what
haunted
she's
woods.
doing and says, "Need to be this, maybe this. I will need 2 hours." After 2 hours, she was making you guys out of like densely packed iron. She was making you guys some like little gloves and, gorgets and breastplates. She doesn't make you those. She makes you a jar. She says, the fire from the oven might be temperamental. When its temper dies down, put it in this.
To what end?
Spiders are like paper. They burn.
Okay. That's both cryptic and very to the point. Thank you. So I think we have everything we need.
I'm like, Silver, do you not want to talk to Bo Peep a little bit more? You were getting along so well.
I don't think Bo Peep really wants to have conversation. I think that we should probably come back when I make my steel forged and I can show off how cool it is.
She says, as Silver and Aetiyen, as the two of you, Leonora, I think for a moment, just lingering a little bit around the furnace, as she's cooling down her forge, and as the night is passing towards the gloaming of morning, you could hear little Bo Peep say, "Silver, interesting name, interesting metal, soft, not so strong, but valuable for its merit and for the way it makes people feel." She says, "They are your siblings," she says to you, Leonora.
They are. And don't tell them this, but they're very important to me.
I have sibling too. She is pale as snow, with lips as red as blood. We were close, but she changed. Keep your siblings close,
I will, Bo Peep. Thank you. And thank you for keeping the furnace going for us.
If you see any sheep out there, tell them I don't fucking want them anyway. As at this point, you guys are moving in a direction. So I think we're about to wind up the session, but give me a heading. So we're going to be here next month with this next session, but where are we going to find our characters on the road to?
Leonora breaks a table and then goes to haunt some woods.
So Rachel's vote is for the Whiteswood. Hell yes.
I think the relics of the woods would be the smartest choice.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The woods definitely, because we are not fucking strong enough to take on more than we just died to. So
Yeah, 100%. My friends, as the group leaves Geppetto and the Stout Fox in the little town of Calumny, with castle suites and Queen Barganot looming on the horizon, first you set your sights upon the haunted White's Wood and whatever secrets and riddles it may pose. My friends, thank you for this D&D session.
yay!
We are done. We are, and thank you for everyone who tuned in live. We're going to spend about 5 minutes here at the end shooting the shit back and forth, and also super quick beforehand doing a bit of a plug-a-roo. So I think we'll start with y'all, and I can finish up. So KT, tell us what you're working on, what you have worked on, where people can find you.
Okay, so you can find me. Oh, good, I'm not muted. You can find me on katiehanna.com, but like KTHANNA.com. I'm the author of the Somnia Online series, which is complete, narrated by Andrea Parsnow. Is that how she pronounces it? Just call her Andy. But my current one is actually called Library System Reset and is available on Royal Road right now. I have actually signed a deal with Podium for the audio, which will be coming later this year, narrated by Andrea Parsnow. So yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I absolutely love Library System Reset. It should be a simultaneous release with the ebook and audiobook coming out at the same time. But it is on Royal Road if anybody wants to give it a go before editing.
You're awesome, KT. Thank you. Will we get Brian?
Sure. I'm Brian J. Nordon. I write Quest Academy Silvers and Quest Academy Scavengers, which released just over a week ago. Doing really, really well. So thanks to everyone that's given it a shot. We will have audio coming from Daniel Wisniewski and Rebecca Woods, and that'll be later on this year. But yeah, working hard on book 3, and let's see how it goes. But yeah, delighted with how it's all going so far.
An absolute legend. Rachel?
Hi, I'm Rachel Ní Chuirc. I've had 4 glasses of wine, so forgive me. I am working, well, book 1 of Knights of Eternity, Calamity, is coming out April 23rd. You can pre-order the audio, the paperback, the hardback, everything. It is being narrated by the absolutely fabulous Andrea Parsnow, and you can actually listen in. She's like recording it live on Discord, and I'm often in the chat having some back and forth and having a blast. So you can pre-order it now. I'm a little tipsy. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye, everyone.
And
I thought she was going to say I'm a little teapot.
It would be incredibly appropriate with the setting. Andrea is absolutely amazing, Lars. You're right. So yes, thank you. I'm Jack Fields. I am with the Legion Publishers, and my debut novel, Scarlet Citadel, is going to be coming out soon. But seriously, folks, get everything that these people around me, or should I say, hold on, this? Yeah, there we go.
That way.
These magnificent folks are working on and have worked on. Get everything, because these are their D&D stuff is just a taste of how amazing they are. So pick up their books; they are incredible. And when my novel comes out, maybe pick up mine. But you guys are amazing. And I suppose we can kind of. Do you guys want to hang out for a few minutes, talk about the session, talk about our favorite moments? Would that be kind of cool?
I was
Absolutely.
so nervous.
And if anyone has any questions, shoot them here.
Please. And
please shoot them here. Sorry, carry on, Aetiyen.
I was just so nervous. That it was a statement. I wasn't like anything like groundbreaking.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. The hold on, can you guess? We got a few awesome comments as well. Motto for the day: let's slap a bitch. I mean, in a way, it certainly was. We got perhaps we sleep before we slap a bitch. Incredible, Craig. What did Jay say? Brian is a character. Well, that is correct. And then, Oh, that's so funny. Paul said, I'm a nat 20 with how attractive Brian is to me.
Please stop loving me, Paul.
Paul never stop loving him. It's all he has.
That is true. Paul, please. We also two Facebook users. Sorry that we can't see your names, gang. We got there's no such thing as overkill and help I'm being repressed, which I think is a reference to Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Help I'm being repressed.
Yeah, exactly. and then Jay with Bo Peep is related to Snow White. Interesting.
I did like that. That was a really
I
cool
love that. That was awesome.
Y'all were fantastic. Don't pick up Quest Academy. You lose a few days of productivity. Yeah, Quest Academy.
Agreed.
Oh, how long is the second one? Because I haven't got to it yet. How long is it?
200,000.
Oh yeah, that'll take me.
First one.
It's not a couple of days. That'll take me a day. I read very fast.
You can do 200,000 words in a day?
Yeah, dude.
I can't write that in a day.
I know, right? Isn't that unfair? So unfair.
Well, look, Ryan, in answer to your question, how do you get as awesome as KT in particular? Do a lot of cocaine and read books fast.
But I do have to say, though, I did find it very interesting. It was really difficult for me to like role play as someone so different to myself. I found it really, really hard to do that. But
I need to ask you guys about the classes. Are you happy with the way your classes are going so far?
I had a little bit of a regret there when the bartender was seriously injured. I was like, man, I should have been a fucking druid.
But like,
yeah, you wouldn't want to see me on any drugs.
But like, I'm
yes,
just so
see, I forgot about that.
Yeah, great.
My only regret is that I motherfucking forgot to add my motherfucking strength modifier.
Good thing
to
it's
my
not recorded
rolls.
anywhere.
Is there anything I should be adding to spells, or was 46 enough?
So here's the thing, not in terms of damage. It's a rare spell that will add its damage effect onto it. Sometimes you can add your proficiency modifier along with a spell attack roll, melee or ranged. But when you're forcing another creature to make a saving throw, like with Dissonant Whispers, don't need that proficiency modifier included. It's actually baked into your spell save DC. Weird that I know these things. I should make more space in the brain for.
Oh my god, Jack! It's almost like you're what's the word? Yeah, a really fucking good DM.
Yeah, and your voices are just
extraordinary. Yeah, they were awesome, dude.
Like when Geppetto, like the whole like narrator at the start, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is brilliant. And then Geppetto just like the fatherly thing when I call them bitches, and like just the bickering between siblings. I think we captured that quite well.
Yeah.
But
you guys were perfect. The dynamic between each of you.
Agreed, Jay. By the way, agreed, Jay. My favorite moment, I think, because one, I love the dynamic, and Jack, I think you did a phenomenal job as the FM. My favorite moment was definitely Geppetto kind of like saying to Brian, respect your sisters, whatever, and Leonora in the background going, and Geppetto catching her, because that to me is definitely a dad who has 3 kids he's super proud of. All of them are different.
Yeah.
But he's equally proud of all of them. And they all have a weird relationship with what that looks like. But he's also fully aware of the fact that they're little shits to each other sometimes. So he has eyes. It's that dad who,
it's that parent like radar.
Yeah, it's the parent thing.
Yeah.
It never falls asleep until every kid is in the house and almost
Fucker went to sleep and we were fighting.
No, he went upstairs. We don't know if he was asleep.
He still knew I died, though.
Yes, he did.
Because he's a good dad.
He's a good dad.
Brian, that natural 20 on your death save.
Oh, I thought that gave me like 2 successes. I'm like, cool. As in, like, I'm definitely not going to die, or we'll see. But then you were like, oh, you're up, you're full health. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's hide.
That was a beautiful moment.
There was beautiful moments all around. I think in terms of combat, each of you was incredibly effective in different ways. I've never seen Brian heal before. I've played D&D with him. It gave me a shock it was like seeing a kitten performing the alphabet. It was like, wow, God, it can do that.
Oh my
I
God, the
thought
kitten
a
has
moment of
feelings.
selflessness, I thought would be nice.
I love the kittens.
Oh, little
I
moon and midnight.
I didn't
love the.
expect. Go on, sorry.
Oh, I love the aberrant mind spell, like the dissonant whispers, because I can stand like behind Lenora, and they're not necessarily going to see me, like, especially if it's loud in like wherever we are. So
yeah, and it's also incredibly effective.
Yeah, well, and because I'm level 2, it added an extra 1d6. It was only 3d6 at level 1, so level 2 was.
We know that
added
for
an
next time.
extra.
That actually means a level 2 spell, which you don't
Oh
have.
shit! Does it?
Oh shit!
Anyway,
That is okay. Rachel's
We
like,
didn't
yeah,
know that.
someone else got something.
So, but no, like
There you go.
honestly, I'm tempted to actually make my steel forged into an owl just to fucking show you what an owl is supposed to be able to do. And I'm tempted to name him Dust.
It says I can talk. It says I can speak telepathically with them. It doesn't say I can control what they fucking do.
That being said, you weren't doing it against any hostile creatures, so no biggie for this one
Yeah.
at all. I thought it was actually kind of great what you
It
did
was
with
fun.
with the squirrels at the beginning. That squirrel finding the sign that Rachel carved in half. Glorious.
Would it be bad form to name the steel forged passion fruit so that it's always out of reach?
It would. Oh.
Just have it like flying that little bit too far away.
I would dissonant whisper you, dude.
But it's good for you, Brian.
That's your sibling bickery.
It's good for you, Brian, though, because it'll only deal 3d6. It'll only deal 3d6. You're fine.
Yeah.
It won't kill you instantly.
No, I'll have 1 HP left.
Did you have
Leonora
19
goes
hit
over
points?
and just breaks a table as Silver watches.
It's so. Are we going to be level 3 after this?
Yeah.
No, you guys have not leveled up to level 3 yet.
Oh,
you
we're pacing.
You're on the
I
path.
think we should.
Roll persuasion on the DM, KT.
You can certainly try.
15 plus 5. 20. Dirty 20.
That was a really, really good attempt.
I know.
Oh! Also, sorry, by the way, I cannot, and I know it's taking the piss in the comments, but I did love how the mayor was like, just Jack. Jack, when he's had 2 drinks, and he's like feeling it. He's like, it's just Jack being like, oh yeah.
It can be 2 bottles. That's 2 drinks.
That's true. That is true.
2
Brian,
very small drinks. They're like this big.
It's the Pinot Grigio.
Too much.
Oh, it's an
It's too
espresso
much,
martini with a shot of caramel or nothing.
Have I told you the time of the Giant Slayer? I was in his party. Mm-hmm.
It was only 16 months ago.
Oh,
you know.
can I like Kate? I didn't have a that character was very much improvised, both in the moment in terms of the personality, but KT's reaction initially. I found Etienne's back and forth really formed it up. I thought it was brilliant. I really liked it there.
Which one? What did I do?
You were like so antagonistic with the mayor. It was
Well, I was being pedantic. Like, she's smart and she like really like picks apart what people say. Like, but did you mean this? But did you mean this? Like,
yes.
like you can't just. Plus, she took long enough to get there.
Yeah,
But should have been there from the start.
Yeah.
One, like, I think it was just like I would say that was a very long time ago, just not that long, not that long ago at all. But actually, that's an interesting segue. Jack, do you want to share your vision for guest stars, or what that will look like going forward?
It's a brilliant thing to bring up, Brian. Thank you so much for remembering. So, gang, for those of you still tuning in,
Sorry.
Mhm.
Brilliant thing for remembering. It's almost like I literally just commented guest star. Like
Rachel,
right there
did
in
you
the
roll-
As
comments.
if Lenora can fucking read and write. Pick one.
Also, Rachel, you rolled far too well on your unintentional stealth.
Okay.
Unintentional stealth is the best kind. At this point, yes. Rachel, thank you for remembering, and Brian as well. Thank you. So at this point, and some Facebook user just said good shit. And count. At this point, yes. The guest stars. So Geppetto is going to reveal a little something to y'all at the start of the next session, and I won't reveal the nature of that device, but the device will allow you to summon in guest stars into our world. It's a form of wish fulfillment for aid, and how that will manifest is in guest authors. So we're going to try and get different authors onto the show, a new one each week, or perhaps if a new author is involved in a little arc, maybe multiple weeks in a row, depending on their relevance or desire in the storyline. I am so excited about that. And I can't wait to see how this utter bedlam here, these three folks, will be interfered with and augmented by the craziness of someone else. Actually, that's a really good question. If we dream person to have on in the community, no guarantees that they'll come, of course, but who would that be for the three of you? Who would you love to have on the show?
Oh, I want Andy to come on.
Andrea.
Thank you. I was going to say Andy, and I was about to be
She
like,
already-
oh, that's not an author, so should I say it? But
She already said she would.
Oh, yeah. By the way, if you're involved in the community, that invite is completely like narrators and
okay,
absolute.
I want Andy coming here causing havoc. She did the voice of what her cat Manny would sound like.
Oh.
And I want that character on this. So that's my first one. I want Ryan doing his, like Ryan Maxwell of Grand System Vending, excellent series. And I want him on here doing his Southern Belle. Absolutely 100%. And yeah, those are my two picks. Those are my two picks so far.
Glorious.
If I'm thinking, so like we're talking very aspirational here.
Yes.
I would really enjoy Matt Dinneman. And I would really enjoy James Hunter.
Yeah.
So James Hunter does play D&D a lot, but I just think like just fucking having Matt of like, I think the balance of like positivity of Aetiyen and Lenora, I think that having someone like, and I just know that whoever I invite on will literally just gang up with them against me, but still.
Because
Harmon.
you deserve it. Oh, Harmon Cooper. Oh, he'd be amazing.
Harmon would be awesome to have on.
Yep, 100%.
Chatfield,
Honestly,
we
so
could probably
many.
swing.
Chatfield would do it. Yeah.
Chatfield, Lars. I think Lars would rock it on here.
Jez, Kev Sinclair.
Yeah, Jez.
We've got Michael Head. We've got like the amount of folks in the community. Sorry, the list is incredible.
Can I veto people? Because Michael Head is on the veto list. Like,
don't you dare. Okay, sorry, he's now on my plus list. Katie, add him to your plus list, and then we override Brian.
Mine too.
Oh,
my plus list.
Voice in the fucking sky.
Well, then you don't me. So I'm just gonna stay out of the politics. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you. No. It's just I honest to God know what'll happen is that Jack will just turn around in Geppetto's voice and being like, "It has been decided." Like, Silver, you're not playing nice with your siblings. And it's like,
Michael Head, Geneva, exactly. Michael Head, but he shows up. He's a full dinner, and every single combat that he like single-handedly saves Lenora's ass from, he finishes another plate.
Okay, one other wish fulfilling one that I would really like.
Yes.
Eric Ugland.
Eric, yeah.
I've played D&D with him when we were in Vegas, and it was one of the funniest fucking moments.
Oh my
like
God.
I don't remember the name of the dust, but he was like this like little crackhead. He just played a crackhead, like kind of like Lamia character, like an Aga character, being like, "Get me that fucking dust." it was so out of character. I loved it. It was just it was so not Eric, and I just loved it so much.
Glorious. But yes, that's the author role, that's the guest star role that we're going to have going month to month. Gang, I think that about winds it up for us. So you know where you can find these magnificent people. You know where you can find this guy. And as well, Shirtaloon. Good shout, Ryan. 100%.
Can you imagine?
Sure. Yeah, he's wonderful.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
And honestly, sorry, we're naming, like, we're all here and we're shooting at names and wish fulfillment. if anyone watching this wants to come along, comment here, like contact us. Like we would love to have you on, whether you're a new author, established, anything. Like we'd have a blast with you. Honestly. Like me and Aetiyen would have a blast with you. Silver would just be a shithead the whole time. But you would be very welcomed by
He is a passion fruit hoarding dick.
I think that's amazing. I think that it could be very foreseeable to do an audience guest star event where maybe one or two people could Jay rock and roll, and we get
welcome Jay.
Different people coming in, and that's a fabulous sentiment. Yeah, I love that. I'd be totally open to that. I think that's great. So, Rachel, you got in there. No stealth on that one. Just total ostensible.
Thank you, Facebook user. I swear it's not me with another account.
It definitely.
It's JD.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Whoever just commented that, you're not invited. Sorry.
Oh, it's JD. Okay. Oh no, it's JD. Come, you're invited.
Is it JD? JD, yeah. I thought better of you. No, it's Waldo. It's Waldo Rodriguez.
Is it a different one?
I thought you were cool, Waldo.
Oh, it's Waldo. Okay, the other one was Jay. The other.
Thank you, Waldo.
I thought you were cool, Waldo.
Thank you. Sorry.
I had to go and get other die sets so that I could.
Oh, glorious!
Get all the D4s.
Yeah, 100%. Like we're going to be using all the dice in the coming sessions. But yes, next session we're going to be in was the hero of the night. Leonora was a perfect crazy barbarian. Aetiyen was completely mental. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yes, you know where you can find these marvelous people. Next month, our heroes are going to be venturing towards the Whiteswood and whatever ghostly adventures lie there. But for now, that is final call of the last Sunday squad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to the players. Bye.
Bye.